Greetings, family. Greetings to everyone. It is your boy Coach Ja in the building. It's 10 times now. It is Coach Ja and AJ. Word artist. AJ will be here momentarily. I know he's probably getting ready on his end. Imran, Salam. Listen, we are here again. You know, on Thursdays, we always try to bring you getting ready on his end. Imran. Okay, what's happening here? I don't know what's going on. We're getting an echo. Again, you know, on Thursdays, we always try to bring you. Okay, I think my echo is going now. I had an echo. I didn't like that. It wasn't sounding too good to me. So yeah, I'm just waiting on AJ. He'll be here in a minute. Actually, let me turn my IG on right quick. And so people who are coming on IG can come on that way as well. And Walaikum salam, Aki. What's good, IG? It's your boy Coach Josh, 10 times down. In the building, waiting on my man AJ Ward to come through. He'll be here in a minute. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all know today we talk about a little bit of everything. Political things, answer all the questions you have. We definitely talk about on politics. We definitely talk about writing, of course. That's one of the things that we always going to talk about. Writing will always be a major topic, no issue, no questions there. I am eating lunch or dinner or brunch, whatever you want to call it. So I will be snacking on my sandwich in between time, but it is what it is. I know a lot of people say you shouldn't do that when you're on live, but you know, at this point in time, you know, black man gotta eat, a brother gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? Brother gotta eat, gots to eat. I've been working. Yeah, still got my brother right there.
10 times now. We're trying to get this working. So yeah, I was not paying attention to you. I was trying to pay attention to this. So yeah, I'm going live with Coach Josh Smile. I've been waiting for this 10 times now. Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. What's up, Coach Josh, man? How you doing,
AJ, man? How you doing, brother?
Man, I've been waiting, man. I was trying to find information, man. Do you know that it's more than 43 states now trying to change the voting laws in 43 states? See, I didn't know. So how many states we got now? 87? or we only have 7? Or 7 is only Democratic ran that's not trying to change the laws?
So 43 states are trying to change the voting laws. 43.
So if America still just 50 states, ain't it?
Last time I checked. Okay, I mean, unless something happened that I didn't know about.
I'm saying, so we just 50 states, but 43 of them trying to change the voting law. And one of them is saying that if people are in line and the line is long and you cannot give them water or you get arrested.
You can't give them water.
No. You cannot give water to the thirsty. This ain't Jerusalem. We ain't good Samaritans. This ain't Jesus on the Mount. You know, you can't give no fish, no 5 loaves of bread, no water, no nothing.
Woo-wee. America.
Now, I'm saying this is real.
I don't even have anything to add to that.
Man, I was Googling, you know, because I tell you I was trying to find the Nevada information on voting, right?
Uh-huh.
And they got to where this, you know, it's all these things like, okay, you have to be the one that's inquiring about you voting. So you got to click all these little squares,
and
put your information in. Then they will give you the information you're looking for. It's like they want your information before you get any information from them.
They want to know. They want to know where to come pick you up from.
For real,
like you said too much.
What's up, Angel Love? No, man, it's like I couldn't believe it. I'm saying 43 states. So what have we been doing in 43 states that people ain't voting? That don't nobody care who the governors are, or who the Secretary of State, or who the Senate and the House. 43 states.
43 states. So I was on Facebook earlier, and I made a post. A good friend of mine, and I was saying this is why we was talking about the Asian folks that's being attacked, all the Asian people being attacked, and now it's all over the news, right? All of a sudden, and I don't have nothing against Asian people. I'm just trying to speak for my people in the moment. And so they're talking about that, and I said, well, this is why people need to understand how valuable our vote is. And my friend, she was like, well, who we voting for? I said, that's exactly why we got this Thursday night evening show. You need to come right on here and bring some folks, because that's what we need to know, who we're voting for. And it don't matter who's in office. It matters what we give them to go, because once we put them in, if they don't do right, they won't be back.
That's what I've been trying to tell people. That right there, because they say well, we keep voting for different masters. I'm like, we're not voting for different masters because we don't have nobody else running. I say, if we show up and keep voting for people saying, okay, even the next term, if you're doing a good job, you're gonna have a challenger.
You're gonna have a challenger.
You're not gonna be any coming for long. You have a challenge. You better change some shit in 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, whatever you got.
Yeah.
And be ready to change some more shit. Because if you don't, you're gone.
Yeah.
We don't have time to keep saying, okay, you are incumbent. No, you're running. We're gonna have somebody running against you next term.
Right. You ain't gonna be no sitting here easy.
Should be younger too.
Yeah.
We ain't electing no 187-year-old people no more.
Get out of here. Go be somebody's counselor. Listen, we on YouTube right now. Me and AJ, we talk about everything. Right now, we're talking about 43 states are trying to change the voting process. 43 states are trying to change that. In other words, if you don't understand, 43 states are trying to make it hard for you, Black people and poor people, is trying to make it hard for you to cast a vote of validity, a vote that will help your community. And this is what we want to talk about right now. We're on YouTube. Come on YouTube Live. I'm trying to find my other phone, AJ. I'm going to have to let you talk and let me go get my phone. So just talk to the folks. I'm going to go walk away and get my phone right quick.
Okay, so what's up? This is 10 times now. We do it every Thursday. So the object today, we got a couple of topics we were going to cover. But I started researching information, and I'm like, do we still only have 50 states? If we still only have 50 states and 43 states are trying to enact 253 laws to change the voting rights, to change what you're supposed to do. See, the last time the Voting Rights Act was ratified was during the Bush era, during the Bush presidency. So that means it came up again during the last administration, and it didn't pass. In 2013, Supreme Court changed some lines in the law to make it easier for states to start adding whatever they wanted. And I just have a problem that people say the states should be in charge of this. But if you remember, the states were in charge of when all the southern states, they say the states should be in charge. When all the southern states were in charge, they said, okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna make this bird Jim Bird. And that's his name, Jim Bird.
Yeah.
Jim Crow. Yeah, Jim Bird, Jim Crow, whatever. We're gonna make Jim Bird, Jim Crow. We're gonna enact these laws. So if we're in charge, we're gonna make sure that we're in charge. We're gonna make sure that you cannot ever be in charge. And if there's 43 states,
43,
and there's only 50 United States and 3 properties. We got the American Virgin Islands. We got Puerto Rico. We got to add Guantanamo Bay, right? We got to add that to the. Yeah. Where does that fit?
We ain't stole nothing else lately, so we can't add nothing else.
I'm saying now, where does the bay fit? Gitmo. Where does Gitmo Bay fit? Is that like a resort? Is that a vacation spot?
You know, man, it never ceases to amaze me how America does what they want to do, and we just sit there and let it happen like we don't got no say. That's
okay. Before we go back to where you started, where you was trying to find your phone. You was talking about somebody, and the lady was talking about
she was saying how voting, basically we don't have anybody to vote for. And I'm saying it's not even that you don't have anybody to vote for. We haven't put anything in place for them to solidify what our vote is. And so we're voting for people that don't give a damn about us because we didn't tell them, okay, look here, this is what it's going to be. And it's like we said, we've been talking about this. They was waiting for the black vote in Georgia. There's waiting for the black vote in Philly. And if you didn't realize, the whole United States was shut down waiting for black people's response.
Yeah. Waiting for us to finish eating our chicken.
Drinking our Kool-Aid and gin. Right?
Waiting going to the polls,
before they can say who the president of the United States was. Think about that for a minute.
But I was just thinking about what you said. She said we don't have nobody to vote for, and I'm looking. Okay, 43 states are in Republican control. They don't care about you at all.
Not at all.
So wherever you live, there was somebody that kind of cared about you better than these.
Yeah.
There was somebody that kind of cared better than these. So if you say you didn't have nobody to vote for, but the people in charge right now are trying to restrict your ability to vote, your ability to voice, but you didn't have nobody to vote for. So does that mean that you didn't look at the ballot, or that you didn't go, or that you thought your no vote was a yes vote for who?
Right. That
no vote or yes vote.
You forget that your no vote is a vote for somebody.
Oh yeah.
That's giving somebody a vote. You see what I'm saying? And AJ, think about it, like all these. I was on a call again earlier today. I've been so busy. I was on a call again earlier today. We talk about nonprofits, and even in that process, we talk about the people who are in place that have all the money to do something. That just need something to do with it. There are people, rich people, who run nonprofit organizations. Number one, that's who got the real nonprofits. Those are rich folks, and even in that, they have it programmed to where they're gonna not even count your ass. Because you ain't gonna do nothing.
But John, if you look at every state, when I was in Dallas, me and my homeboy, and man, rest in peace, Larry. He passed away. I think of COVID in September, and we was putting together this organization. We were trying to start this company because we're associated with a guy that had those metal companies where they take the cans and strip cars and all this. But what they did is he could form I-beams, Robar, all this with the metal they did. So we were trying to form a black-owned minority company to bid on some of these government contracts that's doing the city labor, building highways and trainways and stuff in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Metroplex. And see, there's a percentage of those contracts that are allocated for minority business. So if you just had a minority business, they had to give that money to you regardless of what your bid was.
AJ.
And I couldn't get people to see that, look, I just need you to go in this with us and help us put this together, and we would get it. The money is there. We can have a trucking company. We can have a company that's doing railroad, companies laying concrete, companies doing this. And everybody was like, well, what percentage? I'm like, a 0% of zero is zero.
We have such.
You ain't got a pen, and you talking about what percentage you getting? You ain't got a pen. How you gonna get a percentage of something? You ain't got no pen. Ain't nobody gave you no paper. You can't.
Let's go back again too, AJ. The problem is we don't even think of the weight of a vote. We don't even understand that. We don't even take a minute to think. We think casting a vote is a real simple. It's nothing. It's like just turning on the water. We don't understand the weight of casting a vote. I'll admit there was a time where I was like, I'm not going to vote. But I figured that shit out real quick that it'll never be another time where I don't vote. And I understand that we have to bring it to layman's terms for our folks. Because black people don't want to hear nothing that had nothing to do with partying. Man. And we have to realize that.
Did you say layman's terms or Lazarus terms?
Whichever one you wanted to fit, because we don't say shit right no way. So whichever one's gonna work for them, I'm just trying to say how they say it. But let's look at this. If I decide to not vote, I'm automatically giving the person who I don't want to win a vote.
Yeah.
That's what we need to understand. If you don't get nothing else from it, realize the person that you do not want to win, every time you don't vote, they get a vote.
Well, so is it like if the angry black man say my vote don't count and I ain't gonna vote, and he's holding it back because he's saying, okay, I'm mad because of what they did 3 years ago, and I'm like, didn't you not vote 3 years ago? And then if you did not, you really don't have a say. It ain't nothing you can say if you didn't vote. Man, I stopped. Even last year, I'm saying right after President Obama was elected, I used to do a couple of shows, and people would come on and say, "Man, they sound like some of this other guy that has a show on Instagram that's really popular." He was always talking about how Obama didn't do nothing for black people and how he didn't do this, and they was talking. They said, "Well, what do you think of this guy, BW? What do you think of BW?" I'm like, I don't know. I've listened to him a couple of times, but when I heard like the third sentence, I stopped listening. So my thing is, I'm not gonna talk bad about nobody. I'm just not listening to your show. America got 330 million people, population of America. Neither you or I could sell 100,000 books at one time.
That's right.
We can't say, and in Las Vegas, I'm quite sure there's about 6-7 million people, in all of Nevada. In my area, if I could sell 1% of the books, I would probably have about 10,000 books sold.
Real easy.
And I can't reach 1% of the people around me. So how do I think I'm going to reach the masses if I can't get the people around me to listen? That's just like voting. If I can convince you to even, Google something, find out when the last day to register is, find out if your friends are registered. If I can't get you to participate, that don't take, you can yell outside, you can open the window and yell out. You ain't got to go outside. You can open the window and yell outside and say, hey, hey, y'all registered to vote. I'm just asking.
And didn't they make it that much easy for us this last time? You even got to leave your house. You could just mail it in.
It was, but that's why they're trying to make it so much harder next time.
They trying like hell right now.
But
I can send you a link. You want to come on? I'm gonna send you a link. I'm gonna send you a link through IG right now. And come on, because I'm gonna bring you on. That's my people's right there. I'm gonna send her a link through IG.
Hey, Taylor, I'm from Mississippi. I was in Mississippi. I was on the streets. I still got video on my Instagram. Go down my Instagram. I had signs on the street. I was passing out flyers in apartments, putting things on cars and Walmart parking lots, in all these parking lots, trying to get black people to go vote when they had the runoff election in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying the incumbent won by 23, 25 points. I'm saying 25 points. That's like in the finals of an NBA game. Now, finals of a football game. Final of Super Bowl, and the team you thought was going to win lose 87-3. 87-3. Now, how you lose 87-3 and you're in the Super Bowl? I said, how you in a runoff and people don't even go to elections to vote for you?
They don't even go vote for you.
I'm saying, I could not, man. That hit me with. That's the first time I was ever really depressed, because I put all this time in it, man. I was helping start committees. I was helping, we had this big office. We out here running on the streets. We on corners. We trying to find the most strategic places to park, departments where black people are. So, we need them to see this message. And they saw the message.
We need our ass whooped. I'm just going to say it as a whole. Because it's really, we talk all day long about, how we don't have this, how we don't have that, and this don't work, that don't work. And the system, this, the system, that. The system is designed to work as way it's supposed to work. If you don't believe that the system works, go look at what the Jewish people have done in this country. Because they were down there, the Ku Klux Klan wanted to get rid of niggas and Jews. That was their whole thing. Niggas and Jews, niggas and Jews, niggas and Jews. That's what the Ku Klux Klan was saying. That's these judges and these robes and all these people that you see now. Their fathers and their fathers' fathers. That's what their thing was. What the Jewish people did was got together. Some of them was gangs now. Don't get it twisted. Some of them was some gang. Them niggas was in gangs too. They had a lot of Jewish gangs in New York City for sure. Mm-hmm. But they got together and they started taking law and putting laws that work for them. But what we don't understand, AJ, is those laws apply to us. We just don't have nobody in there implementing this shit.
But what's the thing is if vote is a voice, what you saying? Who you talking to?
Come on now.
If your vote is a voice, what you saying and who you talking to? Because see, I'm still stuck on the very beginning of this. Okay, 43 states. have written 253 brand new laws that they're trying to enact to stymie your vote. And for anybody talking about voting don't matter, why were they hanging niggas that was trying to vote? Why did they have a poll tax? Why did they have all these different things to stop you from voting? And now the first time you actually freely voted, 43 states trying to change make 253 laws to say, hey, I think y'all voted too much. And then I don't even know what percentage we voted at last time. We still ain't did shit at 100%. Because I keep asking people, okay, John, I played football, basketball, ran track, right? I don't ever remember going to a finals or a championship game or going to this game in the huddle. Everybody put your hands in. Okay, this is the game we talked about when we first started off. When we was practicing in the beginning. We was talking about who's going to make this game. We here. Look, we got the other team over there in one state 3 times in a row. It's your turn now. It's your turn. Okay, get in the huddle, put your hands in. We're going to say 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, get out there and give it your 60%.
60. We trying to win the Super Bowl now.
Yeah, now get out there and give it your 60%.
60%.
And everybody gonna look around like, Coach, we ain't gonna be able to do nothing at 60%.
60%. We're
gonna get our asses whooped at 60%.
60%. That's all that's gonna happen.
But that's what we're talking like we voting at 60% and we proud of ourselves.
We are proud of a number that helps us look stupid.
I'm like, how come? It's like they say, okay, well, you can actually, like probably in Mississippi and in Texas and in Jackson and places that the water was bad after the freeze, right? Probably say, okay, we've checked, and there's an acceptable amount of lead and mercury in your water right now, so you can drink it.
Listen to what he said now, because I don't think they heard it.
There's an acceptable amount of lead and mercury in your water, so that's okay to drink. At least scientists say it's okay for you to drink now. So I'm saying, so how come 0 ain't never acceptable?
Ain't never acceptable. I can't explain that. I'd like to. I'd like to be able to give you a whole new, but I can't.
And I'm saying, go back and listen. That's the truth. I'm not making this up. Like, there's an acceptable amount of poison in your water, and it's okay to drink.
And it's okay to drink it. It's acceptable, man.
It's like,
AJ, man.
Like, okay, Thanksgiving dinner. There's a bit of hemlock in the turkey. There's a bit of hemlock in the turkey, but it's okay. It's just a bit of hemlock in the turkey, so it's okay to eat. You won't get real sick.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, you won't get real sick. It's a bit of hemlock in the turkey, but it's okay. It's a family thing. We always have hemlock in our turkey.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me see if I'm trying to get my homegirl in, see if she can give me her email. Because sometimes it gives a problem for me to sometimes people can't get in, so I'm just waiting for her email and I try to send it that way.
But if you got a question, I'm serious. Okay, sir. Okay. If you see, we got a math question later, so I'm gonna give you the easy math. The easy math is okay. So how many states are there in the United States, and how many accompanying properties do we have? Like Guam and Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands. So altogether, how many states and how many properties do we have? And are those properties allowed to vote? Probably they're not yet. They've never voted in Puerto Rico. And I don't know if St. Croix has the right to vote, but I know Puerto Rico never had the right to vote. So, and in St. Thomas and St. John's, they never had the right to vote either. I'm just remembering that now. So how many properties, how many states? So if we still only have 50 states, okay, write this down. We still only have 50 states. So subtract 43 from 50. How many states that leave?
43 from 50 is 7 last time I checked.
Okay, 7. Okay, so now, so we got 7 states that the people voting kind of did a good job. Kind of did a good job. They did an okay job. But we got 43 states. So imagine the amount of people in those 43 states. What if it's 330 million, if we multiplied it by 12, divided by niggas plus a couple of trying to get this math right. I'm just trying to get this math right. But I'm saying, but I don't think y'all see what my argument is. So 43 states believe that your vote should not count.
That your vote should not count.
Think that you shouldn't have polling places close to you where you can go easily vote. They don't think you should get a ballot at home so you can actually mail it off just in case COVID is still here. They don't think you should do that.
No.
And they believe that if you're in a long line and you're a bit thirsty, like you need to go home and get some water cups. If somebody brings some water, they're going to jail.
Going to jail. It's illegal. What kind of shit is that? That's
America. Tuna sandwich? Oh, I don't know how much time you get for a tuna sandwich, but you're gonna get some time for that tuna sandwich.
Fed time too. Shit.
So I'm saying, look at the laws they're changing and what they're changing to, and how frivolous, they're making this thing. It's like while we're in charge still, because I just heard the Republican Party and the ex-president say the other day, if we make it easier to vote, we will never be in office again.
Wow.
That's not saying 60%. That's not saying 6% of us voting. It's if they make it easier to vote, maybe the 71% like we voted this last time. 71. Because I estimate it's probably 71%. But that's still what, 29%? So 29% of the people thought that being in line at Burger King and McDonald's was a better decision than voting.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But we accept it, man. AJ, we accept it. We lay down and accept it. We lay down and accept it.
Oh, she said, okay, I'm here.
It's not showing your camera. I'm trying to let you in, but I can't see you. Check your Wi-Fi. See if your Wi-Fi is on. If you're on Wi-Fi, because it's not showing. Yeah, it's not showing her picture. Not showing your camera yet. I hope it brings her in. I hate when it gives a problem sometimes, but I know it does that sometimes. It give people a problem getting in here. That's because we talking about some real shit. They don't want us to talk about it. That's all that is.
Thursday, time for myself and John. We sitting here and we talking about a couple of things. We started off talking about.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're having a problem now. AJ, is it you breaking up or is it me? I think I don't know what's on one side. What's up on y'all on IG? We're having some technical difficulties over here with YouTube. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or somebody else's, but we're having some technical difficulties over here, and I'm not liking that. We're trying to get it straight. Trying to get it straight. Let me see. Let's see if it's lagging. I think it's lagging everywhere. No, it's not me. I can hear you, Joe. Okay. So they just need to start off. Y'all can still hear me. So 10 times now, me and AJ, I got another guest that's coming in. Good friend of mine. Nikki's coming in, and we're going to talk about some more things. Okay, I'm glad y'all can still hear me. So we're going to let them try to come back in, and I'll just bring them on back up. But we're talking about, man, 43 states is trying to deny voting rights. 43 states.
No matter what you think you're participating in.
Okay, we got you back now, AJ.
But Ja, the conversation is fucking up our Wi-Fi.
Yeah, man, it's burning the waves up.
Our conversation is making our Wi-Fi go bad.
And I'm mad because I want Miss Nikki to come on in here.
Yeah, I'm saying our conversation is when the topic that you're talking about affects the Wi-Fi, not just in Las Vegas, but in Carolina and wherever Nick is. And that means that there's a satellite somewhere trying to make sure that we don't really get this conversation.
Yeah. Trump did it.
Again. It's an insurrection going on in my Wi-Fi. There's an insurrection in my router box.
They in my home now.
Yeah. Insurrection in my router box.
I'm trying to get her in. I'm sending it to her again. Hopefully she can get in. I hope she can get back in.
But John, let me tell you the strangest thing. You know how powerful both of the poems, the documentary we talking about doing, the first one. You know how powerful your poem is, and the Dressing for Church poem is that when Warnock gave his sermon the other day on the House floor, first one on Senate floor, he got a standing ovation.
A standing ovation.
And see, that's what we're talking. We're talking about the Black church and how powerful the Black church used to be and how powerful it can be, but we still see residual effects of when it works. When it works right. You know, he was talking about how on Sundays they do, you know, after church, they take the buses down and everybody go vote.
Yeah.
So in Georgia, they're saying we ain't have no more Sunday voting.
Heck no. We don't want none of them niggas down here. They don't call y'all Negroes. I know y'all like calling yourselves Negroes, but they don't call you that.
Yeah, he said we disavowing Sunday vote. Yeah. we thinking about they gonna, you know how they have those candles that's not a candle, you put a battery in and the light up.
Yeah,
they're gonna crosses, right? The crosses ain't gonna be on fire, but it's gonna be wrapped in flames. But it's gonna, you plug in, and it just look like the cross is on fire. They're gonna start selling them now because they don't want the pollution. They don't want to add the global warming with the smoke from the British cross.
Miss Nikki, you might need to change. I don't know if you're using your phone, and you might need to use a computer if you're using your phone, or use a tablet, because it's not letting your camera on, from what I can see. And that's why, I mean, I see you there, but I don't see your camera. Oh, it's trying to get you on. It's trying. Maybe just a little slow. You must be going to bring some heat on. That's what it is. You know, you're going to bring that heat on, you know, they get scared. You turn your ass off. Not in here.
Not what I'm saying, but we got some numbers for you today. We got some numbers. We got some conversation we need to have.
If y'all don't have y'all ink pens ready, I want you to get your ink pen and a piece of paper. Get your a big ass piece of paper too. Yeah, get the numbers for you. Get your calculators for y'all lazy ones that don't want to do the numbers.
Now, break out your dry erase board. Break out the dry erase board, because I know you're going to make some mistakes.
Yeah. And I don't want you to get lost. I want you to have all your information.
Really? Break out your dry erase board, and you know, and then if you need pictures, we're going to do like Pictionary. We're going to do some other shit you might be used to. So you might need some pictures to connect the conversation with. What's up? It's 10 times now with Coach Ja. We're talking about the 43 states right now, 43 states that's trying to enact the 253 laws that they want to make it harder for you to vote. And we're trying to figure out why is it so hard for us to vote? See, that's what I'm missing. It's like they making it harder for us to vote, but we having problems trying to tell people to go vote.
So my thing is this: if your life is perfect and where you live at, they ain't killing black folks, shooting people down, and you know, you ain't affected by racism, you ain't affected by gentrification. If none of that affects you, then don't vote. You damn right, you shouldn't vote. You don't have no reason to vote. Your life is good.
You know, just keep frolicking in your backyard.
Yeah. If you look like AJ say, if you take your shoes off and stand outside and it feel like home, keep doing it.
But Josh, somebody asked me, I didn't have an answer the other day. Somebody asked me, you know, because the incident happened in Atlanta. You know, because I'm stuck. I'm stuck because a white man went to 3 different places, killed 8 people, 7 at first, 1 died in the hospital, killed 8 people, had a shotgun with him. The police created some tactics to capture him. They actually captured him with some tactics, and they gave him water. Okay, and during the insurrection, they had thousands of people that came. They actually killed a policeman, and they destroyed property. They did a whole bunch of other stuff, and they let them leave. And I'm just looking at all the other signs during the year that when Black Lives Matter was marching, they would stand in the street and chant, and people was arrested. People was kicked and beat down. I remember the old white man that got hit in the back of the head, and they just left him laying there.
Yeah.
We saw some bad. It matters who you're marching for.
It matters who you're marching for.
Wrong flag. Maybe we're holding the wrong flag. Maybe we need some of them old Confederate flags to hold up. Maybe we should hum "I Wish I Was in Dixie" under a chant of Black Lives Matter. Maybe some other things need to happen. Maybe we could change this. We're marching wrong.
Miss Nikki, welcome.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Meet my brother AJ Houston.
I'm in Jersey.
Yeah, you said this is what you want to talk about, so you are welcome
Oh,
to jump right on in. This is
I am a
what, yeah.
big
And
component
you in
for
Jersey now,
voting.
right?
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
cool. Yeah, I'm a big component for voting. I actually volunteer every time there's an election. I stay up on everything going on because if you don't know and you don't educate yourself, they'll get over on you.
Yeah.
They've been trying to dissuade people from voting forever, and it's a sin, but they use our own people who fall right into the trap and go right along with it as well. There's always someone to vote for. It's the opposite, right? Who you know will not be beneficial to our people. Um, for some people, it's easier if you put it to say the lesser of two evils.
Mhm.
Okay. And this incident, I didn't really feel that way, but I have felt like that in the past. I felt like that with the prior election when it was Hillary Rodham Clinton and Trump. I knew Trump was not going to be it because anybody from New York, New Jersey area, we know what he's capable of screwing up because he's been
Mhm.
doing it for years, right?
Oh,
So
yes.
we knew the type of racist he was when he came in the door. But um, I had to vote for Hillary. I'm not a Hillary fan, but I
My-
had to choose to vote for who I thought would be the best given what we had to
Mhm.
work with.
Mhm.
Could I add one thing to that? I'm gonna let you continue, but to that one thing, because what I had to sit down and reevaluate a whole lot of things. What we don't understand is they had 20 Benghazi investigations. So every time there was an investigation, that sullied her name. So
Right.
their idea, just like they did with Biden this year, their idea was let me keep her name out there, keep saying all these things she did wrong, all these things that make
Right.
her horrible. So we
Right.
began to think the person's bad because we've heard bad things about the person.
That's right.
I have my own personal issues
Oh,
about
okay,
her.
but
I
I'm
didn't.
saying, but that
Yeah.
helps. It helps that the name is out there, that everybody else is saying the same thing. So
Yeah,
you
a
know,
lot of people jumping on that bandwagon. I understand what you mean. My
okay,
personal issue was the way she was so nasty when her and President Obama was up against each other. She was kicking him in his back, and she was just it was unprofessional, and it was to me a travesty the way she acted. And I just never felt that she, in my opinion, I wasn't comfortable with her.
Mhm.
But
okay.
I know she would have done a hell of a better job, much better job than Trump.
What white person over 50 ain't said nigga at their dinner table?
You know?
I'm saying, because it just slipped out when they was eating some chicken or a slice of watermelon or pumpkin pie. It slipped out.
It slipped out.
It possibly did. I haven't been at the table with every one of them, but I do know for a fact that, even our
Echoes
people,
ought to be at your house. That's some echoes ought to be at your house though.
well, well, I do know for a fact, though, that some of our people um, misuse the word around them and then have a problem with them using it. And I just, I'm like, you can't have it both ways. In my
Mhm.
opinion, you can't have it both ways. The definition of the word nigger is an ignorant person. It can carry for anyone, but they try to use it as a negative connotation for our people. And that is
Yeah.
what, to me, should not be allowed even amongst ourselves because you're giving them fuel to the fire. Some things we need to just pay better attention to and react accordingly, in my personal opinion. But I know everybody has their own opinions about the word itself. You know, I don't call
Mhm.
any black brothers, I'm not going to ever call them a nigger. There's no reason for me to, out of respect to our ancestors. I refuse to do that. It's a negative connotation the way its word has been used. And so,
Yes.
therefore, I don't use it when I'm referring to our black brothers. Or I don't use the word bitch for referring to our black sisters. But I mean, I know it's, an individual choice for people. So,
I'm saying respect. I understand. I'm saying because we should all respect our positions. I'm saying I respect your position. I respect what you're saying, and I can't tell you my full position on it. But I'm saying I know the negative connotation it comes with, but I know we still don't know
right,
what to call ourselves.
right, right,
Because we've been called so many things, we don't really see. They can't pay reparations to coloreds
right,
or Negroes
right,
or African Americans unless every person from Africa that's a naturalized citizen would also get money.
right. Right. Well, they have no intention on paying reparations.
I know
So
I'm
we
saying,
just
but
might
we
as
don't
well
know.
get that out there.
We don't
That's
know what to call ourselves. So if we don't know what to call ourselves, who's asking for reparations?
right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I really, as far as reparations is concerned, yeah, they owe us big time. But we can't sit there and wait for them to give it to us because it's not going to happen. And it's
Good
not
luck.
happening. I'm not going to have a mule. And if I do, where am I putting them, coach? We already talked about that. Where am I put him? I don't have anywhere to put him. Stick him out in the parking lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Put
48
them
people, the
out
land,
back
that's
with the rest of the
important.
mules.
Well, the land I feel is extremely important. The mule they can hold on to, in my opinion. But I mean, at this point in time, they would have to actually adjust that accordingly to fit our time frame and the time period, the era that we're in. We're not gonna get it though. I don't even waste my time talking about it anymore now. I feel like we have other things to really discuss, and this voter suppression thing is real.
Oh
It's
yeah.
real, and I get so tired of hearing our people say, "Oh no, I'm not voting because it doesn't matter. My vote doesn't matter." But like you said, Coach, the votes mattered. They were
Oh yeah.
waiting for the votes from the urban areas to come in, from where it was a majority of African American folks, all minority people,
Right.
waiting for those areas to come in because we actually are the ones that made the difference in this election process. So the sooner we can get our people to recognize that, the better. But we unfortunately are in the day of social media, and with social media, people can come on and say anything, regardless of whether or not it's true or not. And our people run right behind it, and they're like, "Oh, yes, yes," and whatever the most popular person is saying on it, that's what they run for, and they'll believe anything that they're told at that time. Um,
Absolutely.
I've had issues back and forth, like in terms of discussing that with people, questioning me about it, and my answers are always, I research everything. I don't play. I research everything. And so my answers are always come back with research as far as voting and stuff is concerned, because it's an important thing for us. It's
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
have to work with. And if
Yeah.
we step out there and do so, all these people talk about how we're not going to win, our votes don't count. Most of them haven't even registered.
Exactly.
They haven't even
Exactly.
given it a shot. They have no clue.
Okay,
That's
okay, Nikki. Now let me tell you where we are. Okay, we started this show 10 times now. We started off talking about how important it was. This was before November, before voting, and we were just before the runoff, before all this, and we were saying that how important it is for us to understand that at some point in time, you have to understand that you have to vote, but you need to reassure yourself on who's on the ballot. So
Exactly.
our goal, our first goal was that we should not have any positions on the ballot unopposed ever again. So
Right.
how do we start an electoral university, a university where Black people can go and learn how to be a city council, learn how to be on a school board, learn what those jobs entail, so we can have people running for office? Because there was a lady that just got her GED,
Yeah.
got a GED, and she was elected to office, and it was just showing that a lot of people think they're not qualified.
Right.
So
Right.
if you just saw the last administration, I don't think anybody was in a position that they were qualified to be in.
Not one of them.
Because
All
that
of
damn
them
donkey.
shady and shisty with no background in anything.
And that's why most of them didn't go through the process of going through the Senate to be put in those positions. All of them were
Right.
temporary.
They were
They
temporarily
acting.
appointed.
Yeah, they were acting. And I'm like, how many actors we got in the White House? Is everybody from on the TV show?
Reality show, people. That's all we had in that White House. A whole circus is what was
Listen.
going on, and it was frightening.
I won't be surprised if they're gonna have a reality TV show out of that stuff that went on. I'm not surprised.
Me neither. Me neither.
It was
And
so
they're
calm.
not finished. They're
You
not finished.
had a
We might as
leader
well
of the
recognize
free
that.
world, as they say, sitting there and asking questions like, yeah, we got some really good folks out there. They're really good folks, and they're good folks, and they're just great folks. And he was actually saying that shit in the conference.
Yes, yeah, I heard. I heard him.
How do you say what? You mean to tell me they ain't prepared no kind of speech for you?
Nah.
No, but when you say to insurrectionists, y'all go home.
We
I
love
love you.
We love you. Yeah. Yeah, you did good. We love you. You go home.
When you
And
have a whole party who says we should not impeach him because he's no longer the president. When they
Which is
just ran up and
BS.
almost killed y'all asses, that's another problem for me.
And even on top of that, the fact that Mitch McConnell would not bring the vote to the floor in the beginning. That's why they had to wait till he was out of the office to do it anyway. He refused to bring the vote to the floor. So what else
Yeah.
were they supposed to do?
It's
But
that we're gonna reconvene on 19th. We're gonna reconvene
Right.
on 19th, and they know it'll
Right.
take to the 20th, and that's the day
It
it's
was
done.
perfectly done. And then, the Republicans who have no backbone and are so worried about what Trump is doing, they're going to mess around and lose those offices because the people that are Republicans that are decent people, but they just believe that things should be differently,
Mhm.
those people, they're not going to vote for them again. I know a plenty
But,
of them who voted across the line and voted Democrat. Plenty of
but
them.
I'm
And they
telling
said
you,
that they would do it again.
we're not worried about them thinking they're not going to be in office again. Our goal is to make sure none of them are in office again. There's 17 attorney generals need to be gone.
Right.
There's
That's a
43
mess.
there's 43 senators need to be gone.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Right now.
Right now. And the thing about it is that certain areas, they're not making it known to our people that they are eligible to run for office.
That's right.
In my particular area, I have to say, here in Monmouth County, I consistently every year they send me something and ask me, "Hey, you gonna consider running?" They ask me and my son every
Wow.
year, and every year
Wow.
we're like, "No, no," because I was on the Democratic committee for my town, and it was wild. You would have thought we were in a whole soap opera of some of the things that was going on. And I don't have a problem with fighting for what is right,
Mhm.
but when it starts to affect your personal life and whether or not things can happen that you need to happen in your particular situation, and they're basing it on whether or not you're in on a committee or on the board or something, so they have something to leverage with, it makes it more difficult. And I'm sure that that is what's going on all over, not just in my little area of the world.
Right. Right.
So they make it very difficult. They do make it very difficult. But when do we just go ahead on and step on out there and do something about it? And we can't do it on our own. We need the good white folks to help us.
Yeah,
And that
because
sounds crazy, but I'm serious. Like, the serious, like-minded Caucasian people, we need them to help us with
yeah,
it
but
because they're not going to listen to us. They haven't listened to us all these years. So we need a backup system. Of
Absolutely.
course, we're capable
no,
of doing it,
I
but they don't
agree.
give
I'm
us an
saying we also
option.
need, when and you're running for office, when to send a letter out, you got to send a letter to all your constituents. That's why money's needed. You can't send a letter out to just this area. So there's a lot of things that we need to learn the process of. We need to see how, because when money that went to Georgia wasn't just for people in Georgia.
That's right.
Doing the runoff, money went to
Right.
Georgia from all over the states.
Yes, it
So
did.
our goal here on 10 Times Now is to say, okay, so how do we get all these people amongst us to send $5 to this campaign? We got this black guy running over here in North Carolina. We got somebody running over in Mississippi. How do we all send $5 to their campaign? So now we have, people don't know that a bunch of $5.
Oh yeah, they add up.
For a long way.
They add up. But the
For a
problem
long
is that
way.
we have all these people that are saying, "Don't vote; it's a waste of your time." And when you start having celebrities step up and say the same thing, and it has been celebrities that I actually had supported before, or I was, an admirer of their work or whatever, and it had really changed my whole mind about them because of the direction that they were going in. How do
Mhm.
you tell somebody don't vote when your ancestors died for the privileges? How do you do that? And
So look,
that's basically what they were
you
doing.
about to you about to kick over Coach Ja's chair, so you should
You're
bring
right.
it up.
You see me like,
You about to kick his chair over because before November,
Mhm.
he was standing on the table yelling some horrible at some people that was talking about what's your black agenda? Don't vote for this person. So we feel like you feel. I'm just trying to say that we feel like you feel, and we understand that at some point in time, a loud voice with the wrong information is a dangerous thing.
yeah.
Yes, all the time, and it happens so frequently on social media. It happens so frequently that my friend Mike, and it's so funny because he's a Caucasian atheist, okay,
Oh,
but
wow.
he and
Those
I
are some
started.
funny people, by the
Oh,
way.
but he's on point. He is on point. He has a son who is a person of color. So therefore, he knows firsthand. He's seeing what the problems are out there because his son is having to face them. And he and I decided that too much was going on. We needed to do an informational, if you will, type of live each week to update people on everything that was going on during that whole process of, you know, the election process. And we did, and we answered a lot of questions. We researched everything. We gave them the, you know, the facts and where to find them, because that's important as well. And it was beneficial. We feel that we did good with it. Now, after, you know, Uncle Joe got in that office, I was just like, okay, well, now I need a break, because see, Trump really, he annoyed me so much. I was all out of my character at times, and I was like, you know what? Can't just let people take you out your character. But that man was evil. He's evil. He is the Antichrist, if ever there was someone that was, because he cared about no one but himself. And he didn't even care about his own people. He didn't even care about them.
No, he threw everybody he didn't throw everybody under the bus. He's just a bus driver, and both ends of the bus is drivable. He can drive it. He's running over everybody.
Right, and he's running over them back and forth.
Running over everybody, back and forth.
Yes, that's what he's doing.
But the one thing you brought up is that I want everybody to understand that as president, you can only do so much.
That's right.
Without supporting cast. So if you see changes being enacted, and I'm saying, because there were bills passed 2 years ago and 3 years ago that's still sitting on the Senate's desk.
That's right.
That McConnell would never bring up. So there's a lot of things that are good measures.
Right.
That are good measures that are sitting there waiting. So we got to understand that it's going to take to 2024 to get some of this shit done. And in order to get it done, we need to start preparing right now to vote for 2024. Get some of these people out of the way.
Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, they got to go.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz. There's so many of them that have to go. But
how do we know they're not going? They didn't talk about looking at those votes again, did they? They didn't talk about they just want to look at the president's votes. They were on the same ballot.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, they were saying that what was going on and why it is that Uncle Joe won was because what they did was the people who are Republicans voted for him and Kamala for president and vice president, and then went back on over and voted down the line of their Republican people. So, you know, they knew for a fact they didn't want Trump back in there, but we still need our representation. And their representation is the problem. Realistically, they're the ones that are making the decisions on what to do and all. And don't get it twisted. For me, I consider myself more of an independent than a Democrat, because Democrats don't stand up for what they need to stand up for. And there's things that they allow to happen that should never take place. You know, that you could not pay the Republicans to allow to happen to them.
I understand what you're saying.
It's a bunch of pussies. That's what it is. Let's just call it what it is.
This thing was an honor system before. You know, there's laws, but this thing was an honor system because people were reputable people that ran for office.
Right.
The last term, that was the first time there was a no honor system. They didn't care about honor. They didn't care about being reputable. They just wanted to see how they could make some money.
Right. Yeah.
We're going to get to the money in a minute.
Well, that's the thing. They get paid so much for hardly working. It amazes me. It's astonishing the money they get paid.
Yeah.
The benefits that they get, it's really something. And half of them up there have no clue what they're doing. No clue. And to get in office, they had to lay in bed with people that were inscrutable people. So therefore, then they owe people things. And that's why we keep just going round and around and nothing is getting done. Nothing is getting done. You know.
Well, when we make it to where no incumbent is incumbent, see, Republicans are afraid because they don't want to be primaried, right? So imagine that every year we're trying to put people up so no position is ever unopposed again. So even if you quit one office and you did a good job, you better talk about the good job you're about to do next time.
In my state, my my congressman, right, representative, he has gone unopposed forever. He's a Republican, and he was running unopposed forever. And every once in a while, somebody will run against him, Chris Smith, and that person, you know, won't get too far. I mean, he runs unopposed. Nobody is stepping up to go up against them. And there was one guy who I just knew had potential. He was a veteran. He was excellent. He would have done a great job in that position, but people weren't real. People, and this is terrible. We look for familiarity, our people. I know that name. I see that name. That's the name. So I'm not going to research anything. I ain't got time for that. I got stuff to do. I'm going to look for the names I seen outside on them signs, or I'm going to look for the names that I constantly see every year, and I'm just going to vote down the line. They don't check to see what's going on like they should. You know,
that's what we're trying to change.
To do that, they're gone. They don't, you know, they're older now.
That's what we're trying to change right now. See, last year we told everybody your homework is who's the senator in your area? Who's the senator and the congressman going to Congress? What is the term? The 6-year term. So who's up next? You know, what is the term up? Did they vote? Was it one of the 43? Did they vote on whatever? So our goal is to get people to see that you can find this information out easily when you search.
Sure.
And once you start searching, it should make you mad. It should make you mad that these people are not participating. These people don't even know exactly what they're doing or why they're doing it. So when you start researching, you find the answers. You say, okay, it's time for us to change this. Because if the people around you see you're angry about some things that you can change, they didn't think they could change them at first.
That's right.
And once they see that change can take place, that's when Republicans get a little upset. That's when you see them because, you know, too much happened. Once, let's face it, when President Obama took that oath of office, they like to die. It all but killed him. How'd he get in there? How'd he slip past us? Ain't no way in the world he should have been there, kind of thing. And they started
remember,
the moment the man took oath.
Every senator, every Republican senator took an oath, said we're gonna make this a one-term guy. We ain't gonna pass nothing, we're gonna vote for them, we ain't gonna let none go.
Like they're doing now.
Yep, they took the oath. The difference is Uncle Joe's old enough now where he just don't give a good damn about what they saying too much. He's going to try to work with them, but if they're not willing to do so, he recognizes that the American people need what they need. And the ironic part is it's not all people of color that are needing help right now.
Oh no.
As a matter of fact, it's far from that. So
that was the Mississippi senator. No, that was the Mississippi senator talking about how great this package is going to be and how these small businesses in Mississippi are going to be able to survive and all this. And then they asked me, I said, okay, if it's that great, how can you even vote for the package? He said, well, I didn't want to vote on it because it's just a few good things in it.
Right. But it's more than just a few good things in it for them. They're benefiting from it. But they didn't have a problem voting for the other one that they did, where all they did was take care of big business. And their own, they laced their own people's pockets and companies that they had investments in. They took care of that. The little people was like, you know what, whatever, you struggle. You all right. Make the thing about our people is we've been struggling for 400 years. We know how to make things work. But other people may not necessarily know how to make things work, and things that they can pay their way out of or talk their way out of or connive their way out of, they can't do that now with this coronavirus and all the other stuff going on financially. They're all stuck in the same boat with us, which is why you're seeing these uproars and these crazy actions and these riots and all. That's why you're seeing all of that. They're scared. They've never been in a position of survival mode. We live in it consistently. Our people have always lived in it for 400 years. It's all we know how to do is survive.
See, check it out. We got some numbers coming up. So I want everybody to tune in.
I'm trying. Listen, I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to
get your pen, get your paper ready. Okay, get whoever can count with their fingers and toes and stuff. Get them hanging around you because you're gonna need some help with this.
You need some help with this. And if you're asthmatic, get your inhaler ready. Get all the shit you need for your breathing, because it's going to jack you right on up. Going to jack you right on up.
Wait a minute. Let me
get your inhaler.
Go ahead.
Because what we got to remember is that America don't do nothing in secret. All that shit is in plain view. We pretend we don't see it, and then when it happens, oh, man, I didn't see that coming. But they told you. They don't do nothing in secret now.
Because they don't have to. Because like they used to say, if they want to keep it from us, just hide it in the book.
Hide it in the damn book. In the damn book.
But they didn't know we were published. John, they didn't know you and I were published. So we got books.
I just opened the box. Look, you say that, and I just opened the box, yesterday
book.
morning. I just got a fresh pack in yesterday morning.
All
I
right.
just-
I'm waiting on mine. I'm waiting on my still black ones to come in. Excellent.
Okay. I have no books, so I'm just going to admire y'all's.
oh, don't worry, you get there. After this conversation, you might buy something.
This is my new one.
Still black. Okay.
Yeah,
What
I
does
got
that
that one
entail?
too.
Well, it looks
It's
beautiful.
it's everything. See, the first one is this one. The first one is this one. The Black Book of Black.
Book of Black. Okay.
And this is the story of us from Africa
I
to now.
love the black pages with white writing on it.
I'm trying to
I
tell
love
you.
that. It's
This book
easier on my eyes.
This book is everything before Trump, right before Trump to now. This is happening in America.
Wow.
In prose, poetry, and in real life. Factual. I'm saying we just like you say, your research. There's not a poem that didn't have research.
Okay. All right.
It's not
I'm
attached
holding
to
you to
fact.
that because see, I'm a stickler when it comes to books. I'm a stickler when it comes to books.
No, but if you get this one, you ain't gonna let nobody hold it. You ain't gonna. You say, okay, tell me what page. I'll read it for you because somebody want to take it from me.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, so you was laughing about the number, so I'm gonna let Ja just open up because what we're gonna. Okay, we're gonna say today is Numbers Day. We're gonna just call Day Thursday Numbers Day. So let's start off. Okay, So what was the estimated package that the Republicans gave to big business? What was the estimation amount of that package? What was the estimation?
Didn't they give them at least $1 trillion?
No, it was $2 trillion. Just like it was estimated $2 trillion.
Okay.
Okay, and the package they just passed was how much?
1.9.
1.9 trillion. Okay, that's 1.9 trillion, 2 trillion. So together, that's $3.9 trillion that they say was added to the deficit, right? So okay, John, hit it with the first number.
And so we know that they said it was over 500,000 people that died from coronavirus, right? Over 500.
Yep.
We just gonna break that in half and say 250,000. Right, so write that number down. 250,000. Write that number down.
Okay, right now 250, comma 000. Don't use the decimal. Just write that down. Okay,
just write that down. Don't need that. Yeah. Don't worry about the decimal. Cause I'm going to blow the decimal off the page anyway. When I get finished, there ain't gonna be no decimal. You got to drive 2 blocks to find the decimal when I finish with this shit here.
Okay, wait a minute. So I'm supposed to have down here what the 3 what trillion?
No. That's what you're supposed to have. You put 3.9 trillion.
Okay.
Is the two packages together? Estimation of 500,000 people.
250,000.
Yeah, we're gonna take 250,000. Okay, next job.
Okay. So just imagine. We're just gonna take half of those people. That's that 250 million, right? 250,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of the people who died had pre-existing conditions. They was older. They was elderly folks. So most of these people was getting some sort of benefits from the government.
Right.
A lot of the people were. And so on average, let's just go with Social Security. Social Security across the board is going to be about $785 a month. Right?
That's 785
or more.
Decimal.
Right, but or more, but we just gonna go around the average. That's about the average.
785. No decimal, no zeros. Just no zeros.
Now multiply 250,000 times 785. And tell me what you get.
Wait a minute, hold on, because y'all know it's a little late. Hold on, that's what a calculator is for.
Yeah, use your calculator because I want to make sure I want to make sure my calculator ain't cheap.
Let me pull mine out too. I'm pulling mine out because I was depending on
785. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what you get?
Maybe I did that wrong. Hold on. Let me try that again.
Yeah, try your calculator again because I want them to think I'm tricking nobody.
Okay.
Like I want them to think we planned this shit.
250. You just talking about the 250,000.
Yeah, 250,000 times 785.
Okay. So there it is, and multiply it by the 785.
And how much is that?
That is 196,250,000.
That and
Okay,
that's dollars.
write that down. Just write it. Give him a second, John.
Yeah,
Let,
yeah.
let him give him a second.
So
Okay, write that down.
196,250,000.
Okay, that's okay, John.
Now that's dollar signs. We know that's dollar signs, right?
Right.
We do know that that's 1 month. Times it by 12. 196,250,000
Right. Yep.
times 12.
Wait, what's that E9
yeah.
that came up there? What is that?
Go ahead and put the key in the ignition in your car because you're going to have to drive 2 blocks to find the decimal point when you get to this here.
Wow. Yeah, because it's
Okay, how much is that?
Error.
Okay, it's supposed to be an error, but try it again. Get a number.
Now, mind you, we only picked half the people and we just took the average. We just took an average.
Listen, y'all.
Now, how much did you
I
come
don't
up
know
with?
what the why there's an error that comes up. It says 2.3550000. There's a E and then a 9.
Yeah,
now I don't know
because
what E that stands for. I'm not a math
but it's
person.
It's $2,355 million.
Okay.
That's only half the people.
That's only half the people. And that's not even
it might even be more than that because
it is more. Exactly.
But now I'm just trying to show you that you start out with $3.9 trillion that's supposed to be added to the deficit, right? Then you start with $3.9 trillion supposed to be added to the deficit?
Yeah.
So we just subtracted 2.3 trillion from the deficit they say was added to.
Wow.
So that leaves at least 1.6, now 1.545.
So I thought maybe it was wrong. I was trying to make sure I didn't mess it up. I was up here. Let me read it.
Oh hell, it's wrong. That's what it is.
Well, it's wrong because it's only half of the 500,000 people. Yeah,
that's half the people. We didn't even use the 500 and whatever number it is.
We didn't even go exactly half.
And we estimated 785, which is probably a little more per person. But that's $2,355 million. Subtract from 3.9 trillion. That leaves 1.545, right? So now we have a deficit in the last 5 years of 1.545 million, $1,545 million, right? But if you multiply it times the number of, I think they were charging, weren't they $10,000 per death in hospitals for COVID patients?
Something like that. It was good money. It was big money.
Yeah, that's what they were saying that they were getting. Yeah.
Okay. So if you multiply 10,000 times 500,000 people, so clear that. Okay, we're going to 10,000.
That is so crazy.
Times 500,000 people. So that's what? That's 5 trillion?
Yeah, it's 5 trillion.
Okay, so and we started out with a deficit of 3.9 trillion, right? So now we have is that what they call a surplus? When you have $7.3 trillion that you subtracting 3.9 from?
So of course they gave you $1,400. Of course they gave you that.
So yeah, because it's a drop in the bucket. It's not even a few pennies.
They don't want you doing the math. They don't want you doing the math.
So let's say we're wrong. Let's say our math is wrong. Let's say it's less than 785. Let's say our math is wrong. But then it'd be more than 250,000, right?
Right.
So it'd still be more than that. So the point we're making is that when they talk about a deficit and don't tell you how much money they've made, how much money they saved, how many businesses didn't open their offices, how many people was laid off, how many people they didn't pay, there's a whole lot of other money out there that we can't compute.
Right. Not to mention the money that is unaccounted for that slides somehow miraculously in people's bank accounts and they
Yeah,
have no
I'm saying,
idea how. Or
but
yeah,
I'm
sure.
saying so Thursday is numbers day, and ain't none of these numbers kind to nobody.
No. Betty would like to know what the
Well,
final number is,
the final
AJ.
number that the computer was $7,355,000,000, and that's the plus side. We didn't subtract the
We
$3.9 trillion that they said. So because we didn't subtract it, because we don't really know how many dollars really on the plus side, because there's some other businesses, there's some other government contracts, there's some other deals that they made, some other countries they didn't pay, some money they didn't give to the oil companies, some money they didn't pay for all the things America owe debts to. So America still got money that they still owe to people that they're not paying. Because if you look, your ex-president canceled a whole lot of contracts with a whole lot of people because he didn't like them.
Because he didn't like them. A
whole
lot.
Oh yeah.
A whole lot.
Yep.
So we don't really know what the surplus is.
He's able to get attorneys to represent him, because everybody know he don't pay.
Yeah.
But those attorneys, did you know that those attorneys were from New York, and they were, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. They were those attorneys that on your local TV.
Yeah.
For your case, for your
the one for the cases, the commercials, you mean?
Yeah, for your accident cases. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's who they were? Listen, on CNN, they were saying this was the most pitiful representation of an attorney ever. They didn't. It was like me you trying to argue it.
But it didn't even matter, because they had already known what they were
come to my office, and let me interview these people.
Their argument was that you can't impeach somebody who is no longer in the position. That was their whole argument. Right. And they won on that.
I know, and they shouldn't have been able to.
No. See, they didn't win on that. What happened is, when Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham and everybody went, they told them, "Look, y'all losing the case. Shut the hell up." So I'm saying that's what Lindsey Graham said that he told them.
Well, you do know that Ted Cruz thought he was going to be able to be the one to represent him. He would have to go before the Supreme Court to be able to do that, and they shut him down. They were like, "Nope."
Because he'd have to bow to his Senate seat to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, Betty.
You can't be on the jury. You can't be the defense attorney and the jury.
Yep.
Right, Miss Betty. 1400.
Their lives, all of those people that voted against that, their lives were just as much in danger. And who had to save a lot of them? A man of color. There he was. God bless him. Deterring people, having them going in a whole different direction. He ain't had no gun. Did you notice that? Nothing to work with. But he still managed to do it. He still saved them from getting hurt.
I got a poem. I got a poem for that.
Okay.
What poem is that? I can't even think of which one it is. We talking numbers and shit.
Right, Miss Betty.
Yes, they could have, Miss Betty, but that's not what they wanted to do. Their own intention. That would have been the right thing to do, but that's too much like right.
That would have been the non-American thing to do.
No, well, see, some of the other countries were paying their people $2,000 a month.
Easy. And as you can see, we could have done it. We could have did it.
There is a little surplus here. It's still some more money they can give out if they wanted to.
Let's take it a step further, AJ. You didn't even have to give us the money. Every household got a household. Send this money to the grocery store so they can get a food voucher, take their food, and got to buy food.
Hello. That's it.
You ain't got to give up. Look, the business don't die. The business is still surviving, and people still eating. Send it over there.
No, and you got landlords. Okay, say this is a landlord fund. So if you got houses, we know how much you collect on your houses. So this is what your houses worth. We're not gonna pay the full $1,300 due. Right. But for this family, we're gonna pay $1,000. We're gonna pay $1,000 for this family. So now the landlord's not behind.
Now people ain't getting evicted.
Mariana said you have poems for all occasions. He come prepared. Yeah, There's no excuse for anybody being hungry in America. None.
No.
No excuse. There were
Oh.
lines of people, and they were like, you know what? We'll go to the food bank and get food. And the folks was like, well, what will we do with it? Because we don't have a home anymore to cook it in. So what do we do with the food that we get from the food bank? That's sad.
No, well, see, the thing is, they don't want you to know that there are plans in the plans before all this should happen.
Say that again, AJ. Say that.
There are plans in the plans before all this should happen. See, because for them to come and gentrify your community, they have to be able to buy the property first.
Right.
So now that these landlords ain't got no renters, ain't got nobody staying in it, they ain't making no money. So now the government gonna call eminent domain and
Yes,
give
they
you
are.
for your shit.
Yes, they are. And that right there shouldn't be allowed. But you know what? That's part of the privilege. Let me not start.
No. You are welcome to do it.
That's right, show.
That
This
is
is
so
right,
part
that's
of the
right, bro.
privilege.
We ain't scared of no bears.
That's that privilege that the people who came here had when they decided they was going to discover some place that already had people living in it. That's that type of privilege when they pillage people and
You need the Black Book
over
of Black.
folks' things.
You need the Black Book of Black. Tell it. You need the Black Book of Black.
That's what that privilege is, that type of privilege. So when everybody keeps saying, well, this is so un-American, no, it's not. This is what they've been doing for years. Started when they came over and tried to pretend as if they discovered something that people already were in.
But Nikki, you have to tell them first. A lot of people don't understand that they did not send the good people over. That was not the good ship Lollipop.
It sure was.
Not. No, it was not. It was just like when Vikings, you
Those
know,
were
afterwards you hear Vikings.
Those were
Vikings go.
escapees trying to get away.
Those was niggas running. That's what it was. Call them what they were. Those was niggas trying to get away from what they didn't want to live right.
Not like Southwest Airline commercials. They want to get away. They were trying to get away.
They want to get away.
And then, see, they came here because it was a one-way trip. It didn't matter if the land was occupied or not. Nobody tells you this. It was a one-way trip. They were not planning to go back. They had no provision of turning around.
Coming to do, could take control.
The ship had holes in it. The wood was old.
Yep. Yeah.
Some of the planks didn't even have nails. It had Elmer's glue and shit.
It was not something that came over like a luxurious ship. That was not what came over.
They went and stole some beeswax from the Africans.
Yeah.
But
then
but
of
the
course
we have to understand where we are. So, I'm sorry.
Our African people being so kind as to sell us on off, and, send us over this way. That's a whole nother story. Our people did that.
But it wasn't just there were cases. There were actually cases of that for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, because I had to talk to my sister the other day. My sister, my niece, and my girl, they all got the cheek swab, so they got what the DNA is made of.
DNA.
And they was they was talking about finding their relatives and shit. And I was like, okay, those that Portuguese and that the French and that Irish you got in you, those are rapists.
Yeah.
Not kinfolk. Not kinfolk. Those are rapists.
All the way back.
Those are rapists. So I don't know if you want to go meet the rapists of your ancestors. I don't.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but I guess, our people are the only group of people who can't really trace our history back to, like, the people that came here and they came on in and they came through New York and they, hopped off the ship and here we are in good old America that can trace it all the way back to there. That's wonderful. A lot of our people cannot do that. We are not.
But in 1954,
because we weren't even looked at as humans. We were animals. So we were livestock. So we were good enough to feed people's children, right?
Yep.
We could milk the kids. How about that? Feed their kids. We were good enough for that and take care of them and work their crops and stuff for them. But we weren't good enough to be considered a human, a complete whole human. And so therefore, for them, there was no reason to keep track. The way they used to do the auctions and stuff.
In 1954, they enacted a law in the UN. In 1954, they passed a law saying that no country would ever be able to do what America did to the slaves ever again. Because America is the only country in the history of countries, in the history of slavery, that separated the people when they on arrival, so they could make sure that none of the people spoke the same language. They separated the families, and each ship they separated to make sure everybody was going somewhere different.
They did not want that communication to be going on. They changed
They wanted
names,
the only
they
language that you
separated
should know is
husbands
the
and
language
wives and
I'm going to
children.
teach you.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, they did it. They broke the family apart, and that's one of the reasons now that our folks have such a hard time with keeping the family unit together. But that's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm.
So another story.
John, what's that line in the poem about fathers on what street? What street is that? Is the line
on Abandonment Boulevard?
Yeah, fathers on Abandonment Boulevard.
Boulevard. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Really,
Nick,
they
I'm
did
gonna
have
tell you,
people in.
I'm saying it is excellent meeting you. You got to come back and talk to us, because I'm saying we laugh and talk a lot, but we laugh and talk because the seriousness of what we're talking about is not palatable for a lot of people to comprehend without some laughter in it. Because I need you to know that this is truth, and we ain't got no lies. I have no bullshit to offer you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I'm gonna do like the polio vaccine they used to do, put on a sugar cube, that little plastic cup and that little paper cup. See, got all kids walking around eating the sugar cube, not knowing they're taking medicine.
Right. You know, the thing about it is that when we rip the Band-Aid off, they run. So you can't even do it that way. You know, they run. They're not trying to hear it. They run. I'm good. I'll just sit over here quietly and not bother nobody type thing. And we have to act. We have to unite. We have to work towards, because our kids are here. Yeah. Our children are here, and they're going to become adults, and they need this to change, because it hasn't been working all these years for everybody else.
There's elections in November this year coming up.
Yeah.
And we need people to know that. But we're trying to get people ready for, next year, 2022, because it's so important that these people understand that 43 people shouldn't have a ticket back to DC.
Not at all.
Right.
17 Attorney Generals in their own state should be at home.
Right.
I'm saying a whole bunch of governors that, like Abbott and all these other people talking about a mask mandate. We just don't wear masks no more, and suing other governors. Other mayors that's trying to save their people.
Right.
And it's almost like he knows the disease affects us more than anybody. So it's like he's trying to get rid of us.
Yeah.
And I just want to go on the record as saying this, because I know people are trying to skate over it and stuff. I'm sure you guys probably haven't even discussed this part. But this whole crucifixion that they're trying to roll here, where they're trying to crucify Cuomo, it's an obvious sting. It's for multiple reasons. I myself, I'm a survivor of rape. So I tend to listen to what ladies are saying has happened, but I'm also no fool. And I know a lot of times people will say something happened because A, it's convenient, B, because somebody has them doing it, they're going to get paid to do so, or C, for attention. So everybody everybody hasn't been assaulted. So with that being said, that man he shined too much during that pandemic, and he made the man that was there in that office, whose name I'm not going to mention because I tell y'all I get so angry it just boils my blood. They made him look like a complete imbecile, because everyone was looking towards the governor of New York for their answers and their stability, and to calm them down and to make them feel like things are going to get better. And so that's what he did. There was a concern that he was going to end up wanting to run for president, although he has denied ever wanting to do so. Had he have run for president before they try to tarnish his image, and he's up against that person that just got out of that office, he'd have lost so bad, it would have been unbelievable how much so, because people were putting their trust in Cuomo and trusted him because he was getting stuff done in New York. That being said,
listen to the story.
Also the state that has the most charges that can go up against Trump to lock him away.
But listen to what they're charging him with. Like, I think one lady say, he grabbed my face and said, "Can I kiss you?" And it's like, okay, so he asked, but and my thing is, a lot of people, if you're gonna kiss somebody, you can ask, can you kiss him? I don't know if it might be offensive that he asked.
Why?
It may be completely
Maybe it was
offensive.
offensive that he asked. On a good day, multiple women would have been more than happy to go right head on and kiss that man. The man is a good-looking man. He comes from good stock, and anybody with some sense would have went right along and did their little flirt right on back. Maybe not kiss him, but hey, no, not right now. But we can see what.
But I'm saying, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because Coach John and I, we couldn't bring that up ourselves as a full conversation,
right?
Because it would not look good on us to say, okay, that these
because
we
it's
don't
like men going against women. I know, but I'm telling you, this is how I feel about it, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people that feel about it. It is a witch hunt, a real witch hunt. They have nothing really to stand on with that man. They tried to get him with other things, and that wasn't catching. This will catch because we're in the Me Too movement, and I completely support the Me Too movement because there's a lot of times that people go assaulted and are mistreated and are raped or sexually mutilated and things of this nature, and they never get any type of justice for what they've gone through. But this is not that time.
Okay, Nikki, I want you to talk about not the Como situation, but the situation of the person that just left the building that was talking about, I'm gonna meet y'all down at the Capitol. I'm gonna be with y'all.
Yeah,
that person. He got. What about all them people that's got cases against him?
There are multiple women that came up and said, "This is what he's done to us." The man was on camera talking about, and on the recording talking about, and please excuse the language, that he's gonna grab the women by their pussies. I mean, if he can get up there and say all of that on the camera, and they know it, and they still vote for him and put him in an office. There was a child, under 18 young lady, that accused him of rape. They raked that poor young girl over the coals, and they kept throwing her case out. They didn't even want the paperwork to go through. She had to raise all kinds of hell, and people had to push for the paperwork to go through, and they still swept it under the rug, and she never got any justice. There are multiple women that have come forward and said that man has sexually assaulted them, and he's sexually promiscuous in that manner, and that he's pervasive, and young women are not safe around him. And yet, and still, he ended up in that White House with that title of president.
He said that at the pageant in Russia.
Yeah.
And
on camera.
And let's not forget,
on camera at the pageant in Russia, he said it.
What's the guy's name that ended up dead? What was his name? He died in the jail conveniently.
Yeah. With no cameras. The cameras happen to be on doing maintenance. He died. He died in jail when
they were off with Sandra Bland. What happened with Sandra Bland? It was off of her too. It's a convenience thing when the cameras aren't on. The thing about it is that man on the flight
Epstein
flight log, Trump was on every one of them with him.
I know. Epstein.
You can't tell me that he wasn't doing the same thing. Birds of a feather flock together. We ain't talking about he took one flight. Anybody could get on the plane and be like, "Oh, this ain't for me," and never get back on it again. This is something they did frequently. And there's that saying that thou dost protesteth too much. They wanted to say all that stuff about President Obama and all that crazy stuff that QAnon started, right? But when they're saying that, why are they saying that? What is their whole reason? And to come up with a story like that, I would think that they're trying to cover their own tracks and switch it off and push it on somebody else, because there was some stuff going on there that should not have been going on. There was stuff going on there with Trump. I'll say his name now. And that man and that woman that he was friends with, who conveniently is sick now in the jail or whatever the case is, they had a whole plan of deceit and evil and abusive treatment to these women.
Now tell the truth. They had a whole island of fuckerry.
Yes, they did.
There you go.
And they had plenty of manifest of the plain manifest
to
check
and video. They got
the names. They knew everybody. They kept track of who was going. They had them on the little flight manifest. They kept track of who was. There's page after page after page of flight manifest. That's why he had to go, because he had too much information, and he might just have given some of that out. And and I'm not naive enough to believe that there weren't people on all sides that were involved in that, because a dog is a dog is a dog, no matter what their political stance is. So I'm
Hey,
sure that
you know,
there were people on both sides there.
I'm saying if everybody in the room hitting a joint, you say, "Well, I don't smoke," but okay, I take a toke, but I didn't inhale.
I didn't inhale.
But I didn't inhale. Right. Yes, exactly. So that's a witch hunt that they have going on against Cuomo, and he hasn't done anything anywhere near as bad as what Trump has done and gotten away with all these years.
Oh, definitely. Governor
All
Newsom
these years.
got him too.
Same reason.
Both
Oh yeah,
governors
with Governor
did
Newsom.
that
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. All the people that he felt was competition and that made him look like an imbecile is who they're going after. And it does
Yeah.
not take much to get these women to step up and say these things. They can
No.
promise them anything.
We in hard
Betty,
we in
you know
hard
what?
times, America.
I don't
No, we in hard
have-
times, America, right now.
I'm not going to comment because on her, and that's because my mama said if you don't have something nice to say,
Nice
don't
to
say
say.
anything at all.
Okay.
And
I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one.
not to knock our.
Well, that's why we got
women,
mumble rap.
you know.
That's why we got
So I'm
mumble
gonna
rap.
leave that alone, Miss Betty. But I'm with you, Miss
No,
Betty, on that.
No, Nikki, that's why we got mumble rap.
Huh?
Is that why we have mumble rap? If you don't have nothing nice to say about nobody, mumble.
Got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. That's what they used to always tell us. Then just shut up, keep it quiet, don't say a word. I'm gonna leave that right there alone because
have
she's
nothing nice
done
to say,
plenty of witch
mumble.
hunts on her
Mumble.
own that were unacceptable. But so I'm, of her own people. But I'm just gonna leave that alone too. That's
Yeah.
a whole nother
Okay,
day.
now back to numbers. This is number Thursday. So let's go back to these numbers. So
Numbers
we
crazy.
trying to figure out how come nobody else is talking numbers.
Why would they? That would be educating people on things that they know nothing of.
No, but I'm saying, but you hear him talking about, $1.9 trillion. That was $2 trillion there, but ain't nobody talking about in between numbers. And
Because you know what? I don't know if y'all remember this. Mr. McCain once, Senator John McCain, God rest his soul. And people can say what they want about him. I didn't agree with everything he said, but he wasn't evil and hateful, and he actually cared about what happened to the country and the people in the country. So I have that respect for him.
he stood for shit. He stood for shit.
Yeah. Senator John McCain, one day, they were talking to him like they do. You see him talking to Schumer and you see him talking to Nancy Pelosi and them, just like that. And he said, they asked him a question, and he said, the American people don't want to know that. They don't want to know that. They pay us to handle all of that because they can't deal with it. They're not capable. And I was insulted. I was like, wait a minute, you saying I'm stupid? I can't get this. I don't understand this. But now, you know what? I would apologize to this man if he was still alive and tell him, sir, you were so right. Because I've never seen such gullible people in my life. People don't want to know. They don't want to know. And they actually, that's why social media is so helpful to them. They run with whatever they see. It doesn't have to be factual. It doesn't matter. Sounds good. And so is saying it. So is saying I'm running with that.
Like that dumbass Ice Cube gonna get up there right before it's time to vote, talk about.
I told you, Nikki. Nikki, I told you, Nikki. Don't make him kick over his chair. Nikki, I told you.
My whole thing was, where was you at years ago?
That was a big contentious spot for me with him.
I told you, Nikki.
Big.
Nikki, I told you don't be kicking over John chair. You're gonna make him hop on the table and go there again. I knew he couldn't hold it in. I knew he had to let it go.
Here's my point. We got a brand new president, vice president, got a whole new administration in, right?
Yeah, he ain't went there.
I ain't heard shit from this jackass yet.
Nope.
Nothing.
You ain't going to. You're not going to hear nothing from him. You're not going to. And I know there's going to be people that's going to have a problem with that. And all. I don't care. I speak what I believe. Nobody else has to go along with what I say. But it's a free speech country we live in, or supposed to be. And so therefore, I can say what I want to say. Man meant no good for his people. It was all about his money, his paper, his dollars. If it wasn't, he'd be there right now saying, okay, listen, vice president or president, can we please talk about now this agenda that we have? Oh, there was great things on it. I read it. It was wonderful things on it, right? Okay, but it was not. You can't just come up with stuff on your. Okay, all right. I am me, and I know some things, right? But I'm not fixing to try to speak for every black person and not have representation of where each person has come from. You don't leave women out if you're discussing things that have to do with women and their reproductive systems and things of that nature. And you talking about you for the black women. You can't leave that out. Can't leave that out. We the ones that have kids.
I'm out to see you in the black community of law. I'm out to see you in the black community of law. We're not gonna put up with this.
I just am not. I was so disgusted with him.
I'm still gonna watch Friday because I want to see Smokey, do his thing. I'm still watch Barbershop up until the point where they say Rosa Parks didn't do nothing but sit her fat ass down. When that part come on, I turns the shit off because that was the dumbest thing you're gonna say to kids that don't know better. And I know it was comedy, but it was stupid. And so I'm still watching, but I'm just trying to figure out. You said all that dumb shit. You took 2 minutes to do that dumb shit, and you ain't showed up your face yet.
And I mean, you continuously was saying it. And did you see how? I don't know about y'all noticing this. This is the stuff I noticed. I'm different. When people are off the chain and they're like heading in the wrong direction, you start seeing a change in their whole appearance. They start looking like the nonsense that they're talking. They start wearing it. They become caricatures of themselves. I'm serious, AJ. You watch. You'll see the whole physical transformation.
Nikki, I'm not hanging with you and John. I'm not messing with you. I'm between you and John in the court of Negro opinion.
Wait.
In the court of Negro opinion. I'm super up y'all.
AJ, they become T.I. and they say, I was not prepared to deal with the elevation of the words, the prosperity, and the way that the manners and how you're supposed to be proposing all these magnificent words. And they become T.I.
in the court of Negro opinion.
I'm
still both of you. I'm gonna write up my case right now.
Okay. Well, I had a ongoing debate with so many people over this. And I wasn't trying to debate them. You know that post he put up there, that very first rant that he went on, that Cube went on? Okay, I responded to it, but I responded to our people on it. Don't you let Cube tell you all of this and lead you in the wrong direction. His paper is long, ours is not. We have to look out for ourselves. You cannot jump on this bandwagon with him because he's going to be all right regardless of who's the president. We will not. So I encourage you to go out.
Let me tell you what my response was.
Y'all, they went nuts, completely mad. For 3 months, I got messages about that.
Now let me tell you what my response was. My response was, okay, so there were black people running for office when all these candidates was first started.
Right.
If you wanted a black agenda, you got long dollars. Friends got long dollars. Y'all could have funded when these people had dropped out because they ain't had no money.
Right.
You can't come up with only 2 people left. Talking about what's your black agenda, and it's 2 white people.
Right.
I'm like, black agenda was when there was 27 people on the stage. That's Black Agenda Day.
That's Black Agenda Day.
It ain't Black Agenda when 2 people left, and you want to know my Black Agenda, and I'm an old white man, know how to say a nigga a whole bunch of times. I probably ain't said it loud enough to be recorded.
And I'm just gonna let you talk enough.
I looked over my shoulder first, but I said it.
And I'm gonna ignore the rest of it. Right? That's what they did.
That was my thing.
And
it's
then
like
took what he said and added it to their little foolishness on that website and said, "Oh, look what we got a plan." And if you went on there to look at the plan, it was a paragraph that was this big. That was the plan. I don't know if y'all looked at it. I did. It was this big. The plan. I actually just deleted the screenshots of it because I couldn't get over it. The Black Agenda on the campaign page was this big. This big.
Can't say he didn't have it.
Huh?
And Jared probably miswrote that.
Hello. It was a complete mess. Oh no, Candace wrote that.
How you spell black? Does it start with an N? Oh.
Candace wrote that. Yeah, that's another story.
Now what this says, okay, how you spell nigga backwards?
BLACK.
And if one more Republican,
Nikki, man, we joke, but I'm saying these are serious conversations we're having.
They are. They really are. If one more,
But a lot of people don't know.
person says to
A
me,
lot of people haven't had these. Oh yeah, we still got to talk about the recorded conversation the other day on whatever it was, the young man recording his dad on the phone in the car.
Whenever y'all get ready, damn it, I'm ready for that one. Shit, because that was.
Are we
I'm
talking
just
about
jump on
Kirk?
it. Yeah.
Nikki, we ain't calling no names. Just listen, Nikki. I didn't call no names, Nikki.
Oh,
We didn't
okay,
call
I'm
no
sorry.
names. Don't be yelling no.
Something else I missed.
Don't be yelling no names.
I'm sorry.
I'm really not taking the court
Listen, I didn't hear what he said, but he made that kid. I didn't make that kid. And I don't control what goes on in their household and that parental unit. I can only deal with what I made, with what I gave birth to. I can't deal with that. I don't know what that son did to him for him to feel like he had to do it.
No, check it out. My problem was not even what the son did. My problem was that the son was on the phone and only recorded that portion of the conversation.
How do you do that? How?
He must have.
How do you do that?
Delete the
This is a conversation.
His daddy is a big time musician, right? So he probably had access to the studio. He just played it back and he did
okay.
he did a Nixon and something hit the fucking tape. It just disappeared on the damn shit. Every time he talked, it just disappeared.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a whole nother story. Huh?
My whole thing is this. That man is 33 years old, right? Was he like 33 years old?
Yes.
His son.
I think
okay. So in 33 years, you didn't see a point to talk about an abusive dad until now. Until 33 years now. Now you was talking at least by 5. You was able to say, "Ouch." Okay. So
he could have complained some time ago when people had problems with Kirk. Remember?
That's my point that I'm trying to make.
Addiction and all of that. He could have complained then.
I interviewed Kirk Franklin for my show about 4 times.
Did you?
I've been in the studio. I interviewed Kirk about 4 times. I'm from Dallas, but see, my thing was not just that he's 33. So what did you ask for? He wasn't gonna do for you this time that pissed you off.
That pissed you off. And your punk ass had to report.
I've only been in Kirk Franklin's presence one time. He seemed kind enough to me, but we were all out in public, and he was taking photos with my son, and silly photos with my son, and they were just sitting there laughing, having a good time. So I can't judge this man based on anything that I have heard or recording or anything. It don't make a difference to me. I don't know what happens in that family. You know what I mean?
No, but once I interviewed him, we were backstage. Somebody brought his mother. His mother didn't raise him. He was raised by his grandmother.
I know.
His mother wasn't around. His mother was never around. But once he started getting big, somebody brought her backstage.
Right.
And that was the first time I saw the tilt. I saw the tilt of a Franklin.
Yeah.
It wasn't kind, but I'm saying I know. See, I got kids that would get on. You know, if you had a last nerve left, it was already crushed. They would be standing on him up. I got kids, so I know how that feels. I know how conversations can be misconstrued, and I know how you don't say. You just see when you know what conversations is necessary for you to hear what I'm trying to tell you, because evidently you didn't hear me the other 8 times I told you.
Right.
Now,
right.
You ask me one more again, and because my daddy would tell you, he said
one more again.
I done told you.
That's Texas.
And then the rest of the conversation, you can't replay it. You can't even rehear it. You don't want to rehear it.
No. I don't have. I'm not mad at Kurt. I'm not mad. Nobody's perfect. Ain't none of us perfect. None of us. And even the people that are the most devout Christians may come out and say something every once in a while that's not right. But we're not perfect. God is perfect. We're just trying to do right, and it's not always easy. And if you got a wayward child coming at you all crazy,
after 33 years of trying,
I brought you into this world and I take you out.
Okay.
Cosby Show?
After 33 years of trying, it's gonna be some shit gonna piss you off. 33 years, and I'm still. I've been trying 33 years, and you still right here.
Yeah. Yep. So I can't judge them because I really don't know their relationship. I don't know that, and if I had been around and I saw things, I could be like, yeah, AJ, you know what? Some shiesty stuff was going on, and I ain't been around them people like that. I can't speak on what's going on in their household.
My only judgment is I want to hear the other half of the conversation first before I judge this part.
I want to know what led up to that. Because he
That's
didn't just
I
call and
don't
say,
even
"Hey,
care.
son,
That's a
what you
grown
want?
man. He's
You little bitch
33.
ass, what you want?" He didn't start off the conversation like that.
Right.
We
You
know
can't
what's going
you can't
on.
give me you can't give me the lava, and I don't even see the volcano erupt.
Okay,
Right.
but let's think about this here. I didn't listen to the whole thing. So how much of the
Me neither.
conversation was playing before he got to when he cussed his ass out?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's what I want to know. How much we didn't hear? Did it just start
No,
off?
because
Hey,
that's what we do now. How we judge situations. We just go by snippets of things now. We don't need to know the whole story. We just run with whatever it is we heard. That's what's been going on. You know.
we
Okay,
just become
let's say, John, since I'm gonna order me a lab jacket and a stethoscope, and I'm gonna sit in this chair, and I'm gonna be Dr. AJ, and I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you about the coronavirus,
Okay.
and we're gonna see how many people pass their video along.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up my big words. So I know how to make it sound good. And
Go
because
ahead.
I say I don't believe you're a doctor just because you got a stethoscope. I could buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirk
Hell, I can
Franklin
find
was a
one at
nice man.
Goodwill.
He spent time with my special needs daughter twice. One time was through the organization Dreams Come True. The man is only human. That's what Angel Loves Gospel said. And you know what? Yeah, see.
No,
But
I'm
we
saying I
don't
don't
know nothing about him
I'm
doing
saying I
stuff
don't have a
like
problem
that.
with
That
it
would
at
have been
all.
nice. We don't know that. That's nice.
I don't
to
have
know
a
that
problem
you
with it.
could-
I just want to hear the beginning. See, I hate when somebody tell you what somebody else said,
Right.
like they didn't say nothing.
Right. Yeah. Because there's three sides to the story. Each
His side,
person
his
has
side,
their
and truth.
side, and then there's the truth.
There's the truth.
And
the
if I
truth
wasn't
is,
there again,
he
I can't
probably
say
should have.
nothing.
I bet you he wouldn't have got that far. He's in front of his dad. I bet you that.
Oh no.
He probably would have busted him in his damn
Absolutely
mouth, and that
not.
would have been the end of the
We
story.
don't play that. You know we don't play that. No, he would
Br-
have been
Brandon-
sliding
Brandon
across the
Mack would say
floor
what?
on that second thing. He'd have been across the floor. He'd slide across like he
Yeah.
was going
What
slide to
Brandon
the
Mack
home
said,
base
John?
safe. That's what that would have been. No more.
Bernie Mac said, "Bust your head to the white meat."
Right. To the white
I
meat
know that's
show.
right.
Yes. Yep. Just like that.
Look,
We're
come
gonna
a
see
point
what
in
you're
time.
thinking. See what you're thinking up in here.
It come a point in time when your kid and you look at him like, "You talking to me?" and then he gonna sit his ass down. That's what he needed.
That look is so popular in our homes. We know that look. We've learned that. We learned that from baby. We knew when we could walk. That look.
If my mother ever do this right here with that finger,
And
that's
that,
it.
John,
that side eye, that like
John,
you
that
should
was
know to
comedian.
sit down and shut up by that point in time. But on the phone,
Yeah.
nobody can see you. You can't see that
Nobody can see.
seriousness.
Yeah.
What Kirk could have done was hang up the phone and go to where he was.
Knock the shit
No,
out.
he was in the car. He's in the car. He wasn't gonna be there. He was in the car. He wasn't gonna be there for
You had
long.
that thought right there. And it been pulling right
He's in
up
the car.
in
He
the
wasn't
front.
gonna
You
be there
said
for long.
what? What you say now? And been pulling up in the driveway. That's what he
Now,
could
let
have
me
done.
tell you, the funniest comedian I ever heard. He had this little skit. He said, "Yeah." He said, I don't really think abortions should be legal, but I don't think they should be illegal. He said, but I think the parents should have the option. Like if your kid is 18 and they ain't did shit, he said you should have an option. They said, what happened to Terrence? Oh, he was late term aborted.
Oh no! Oh, wait a minute.
So, and that was the funniest shit I heard. He said, no. He said, what happened to John? Oh, John? Oh no, John was 27. He was late term aborted. He was late term aborted. He gonna be
That when
shit.
he took him on out of here. Bye, John. John had to go.
John had
They
to
sent
go.
him back.
And when I heard that, that just stuck with me. I'm like, I ain't never heard that before. I'm like, that is so crazy, but
That's
it makes so much
crazy.
sense.
Makes so much sense. Makes so
That
much
is
sense.
crazy. Oh, this world is wild.
No, the world is fine. It's these niggas in it. It's these niggas in it. All shit.
All right, John. That's the way to look at
The
it.
world is
Yes.
just fine.
That's it. Yeah, the world is fine. It's everybody in it. Okay.
No, not everybody, just the niggas. Not everybody.
So Nikki, I'm saying you came in. So tell us about you.
Okay, about me. Okay. I am 49 years old. Very proud of that because a lot of people ain't made it this far. So that's a blessing.
Okay.
Yes. I'll be 50 next year. I have a beautiful daughter that I got my bonus daughter, who is the biggest blessing. So she's everything I could have wanted in a daughter. That's what I wanted. I always wanted a daughter. When I actually got pregnant, you know, me and my husband, when I actually got pregnant, I had a son. And I was like, well, at least I got my daughter. And she came on in. So she's wonderful. She has a beautiful little boy, my Kahari. So that's great. So my son Corey, he is in his senior year of college. My life was put on hold to make sure that my kid had what he needed. So that basically is what took place. Divorce and raise my child. So I put all my little dreams and hopes on, on hold, you know what I'm saying? And did what I needed to do, like most of we decent parents do. Yes. So now I have been rediscovering me and my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been in the process doing. So I've been starting doing some things. I don't know if Coach told you, we wrote a lovely song. I don't know if he told you. Coach, you tell him we
No,
wrote
I
the song?
ain't talking about the song. I ain't
okay. Coach ain't want to tell nobody we wrote the song. But we wrote a song for Emmanuel Lewis. And that was nice. He allowed us to write the song with him and all. So I now can say I'm a songwriter. Now, not to say I haven't written songs in the past, but they weren't getting anywhere to be published or whatever they're going to be. They weren't doing that like this song is doing. So yeah, so I do that. But I worked in a corporate world. That was ugly for some time. And then I ended up getting sick. I have Crohn's, rheumatoid arthritis, and Lyme's disease. So I can't physically go in and work all the time. Sometimes I can't physically get up, but still I rise, still got to move, still got to function. So what I basically do is what I can and make it work. That's what we Black mamas have been doing for eons. And that's what I continue to do. And that is me. Oh, my son majoring in theater, and he's an actor and a vocalist and a musician. He's a jack of all trades. My daughter is a nurse, and she's back in school to get the RN right now. So, yes, I have a wonderful mother, a grandmother that's a minister. That's my story. That's me. That's and crazy things that I've experienced. That was a lot of fun when I was young. I can't say I didn't have a good time.
I just thought everybody here. I think this conversation is excellent. I really appreciate you coming in and hanging with us. But I wanted people to know who you were too, because we laugh and talk about everything. At least we try to make everything fun to talk about.
Yes.
And I appreciate you for taking this time, for taking it on the chin with us, because we say some things at the most inopportune time that probably shouldn't be said, but we don't.
Oh, that's all right. I'm good. I'm good. Wait a minute.
Should be shared, but we don't care. We don't care. It shouldn't be said.
Wait a minute. We do that anyway. Don't we, John? We do that anyway.
Don't do.
So it's okay. I'm used to it. I am on IG as Miss Nikki says, where I'm like, it's actually positive.
Wait. I'm just reading it that Coach Ja put up here, and then he took it down. She said those songs were like the prayer slaves made to the slave masters. God couldn't make it past the big tree. Too much strange fruit.
Wow.
That's my short poem for the day.
Wow. Okay, that's deep.
Hey, you see how AJ caught it? He said, wait.
I saw it come up there, and I was reading, and I was like, who said it? I was going to ask you, John, who said that? But I got it now.
Nikki, the love of my life told me the other day, she said, look, some mornings I don't want you to get up, because every time you get up, it seems like you done woke the ancestors up with you, and you're in writing shit that like the ancestors told you. Shouldn't you just leave the ancestors? Because that's what the Black Book of Black is. And still black. She said, shouldn't you just leave the ancestors alone? She said, because it looked like they only talk to you.
Wow.
And honestly, I'm saying, when I wrote the Black Book of Black, I didn't sleep. It didn't matter when I fell asleep. I woke up with a poem. I woke up with something I had to write down, because the Black Book of Black started with this poem I wrote called This Is What Happens When You Bootleg Freedom.
Okay.
And that's the poem it started with.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had When My Ancestors Come, Harriet had conversation with the ancestors. It had all these all these pieces in there that were frightening to me, because I was telling people, I said, I really didn't want to write these pieces, but if I didn't write them, who would?
Well, apparently you were the vessel that by which they were supposed to be written,
Yeah.
so that people could
still-
face things that they needed to face and know, and questions in people's minds so that they know what they need to think about more.
And Still Black came the same way, because I was writing. I don't even know what poem started this one, but I'm saying I had this poem I wrote, Hope, right?
Mhm.
I wrote this poem, Hope, and it was talking about maybe we just been white hoping. What if hope were black?
Mm. Mm.
Hope was black. I like
What
it.
if
See,
hope were
Nikki, the problem is when AJ start talking, I got to get my whole notepad and shit ready.
You taking
I gotta
notes?
jot shit down. Because I'm always writing poems after he come with a poem or he say some shit. Every conversation I'll be writing. I'm like, damn. I went and
Stir
bought.
you up, huh?
I went and bought. I went and bought five. I think I bought five composition notebooks yesterday, and 2 packs of loose leaf paper. Because I'm ready for AJ now.
You ready?
Now he
You
but
need a
Nikki,
whole binder for him.
he posted that shit. So I'm like, yeah, I'm ready now.
You need a binder. This class is in session.
This what he do, Nick. He called me the other day. He said, Coach, Ja, look, I saw this prompt and I wrote this shit, man. I got to read this shit to you. And he read it. I needed him to read it again. I started writing my poem right then and there. Started writing my shit. I said, he talked to me. I said, yeah, okay, I'm gonna talk to you later because I'm gonna finish this damn poem. I finished the damn poem right then and there on the spot. I didn't get nothing else done for the rest of the day.
Well,
No, but he
he
wrote
knows how
this
to stir
poem.
you up.
No, but see, Nikki, the thing is he, I had this writing prompt, right? Dressing for church, right? Writing prompt. I told him, yeah, write this poem, Dressing for Church. I told him writing prompt. He come and say, look, man, I got my poem done. I said, okay, read it. And I'm like, and I had like 12 pages of notes from my poem. I don't really have the opening line. And he read that shit, and I'm like, man, fuck you, man. So I had to go back and I'm saying and change. I had to go change clothes because I couldn't even write in the same clothes I heard his poem in.
He dangerous.
I'm saying I couldn't write in the same clothes I heard his poem in. I had to change clothes and get another pen because you can't be writing new shit with old pens sometimes.
Gotta have your new ones. Gotta have your new ones on deck all the time. All the time. Gotta have them.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
Listen, I bought 2 packs of things.
But Nick, it is such. I'm saying it is. To me, it's magnificent to have somebody that it's not that they challenge your work. It's that their work is so challenging, it makes you challenge yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And because I pride myself on my ability to paint with sound. See, I really believe if a picture is worth 1,000 words, your poem should be worth 1,000 pictures.
Right. Right.
And in every poem, I try to make sure I have 1,000 pictures in every poem. So I don't write for play. I don't play with ink. Ink is probably the most sacred thing I know.
Y'all don't mess around with ink either.
I know you don't, Ja. Some of the stuff you were saying is like, wow.
Yeah.
He makes you think too.
AJ makes you. No, he don't make you think. AJ makes your spirit work.
Oh, nice.
He makes your. Yeah, he has a way of inciting things that you didn't know existed within yourself.
Okay.
And it's definitely a gift because I listen to some people. I've been to workshops and I walk out. I'm like, I ain't got no time for this shit. And I've been in a workshop with what you call award-winning poets. That's what they call themselves. And I'll walk out. And I'm saying because a workshop should not confuse me.
No.
Yeah.
It should make me work, but I should not.
First and foremost.
It's supposed to incite you and excite you, but not confuse you.
If I'm sitting in your workshop with my pen and my pad and my page is blank or my laptop is up and I'm on Facebook, that's a goddamn problem. That's a problem. And so AJ has a way of delivering a message, whether it's on a poem or he's just conversating with you, and your spirit wakes up. My spirit actually wakes up. I told AJ all the time. I tell me and my brother Witz, a lot of his conversation, we'll go back and we'll be talking on the phone later. Me and Witz back and forth talking about shit AJ said, and okay, we writing a poem. That's just how it worked. He just got that whatever that is, he got it.
That's what Witz does too. He makes you think and stuff, make you stop and think about everything all over. I'm like, I wasn't trying to go there. I was trying to go somewhere else. You can't even help it with him. He does that all the time too.
Yeah.
Now, Coach John gave me his writing prompt, right? He gave me his writing prompt, How a Black Man Walks.
Yeah. I hadn't even wrote my shit yet.
I think I wrote like 4 pieces to it, and the third one I sent to Ritz to show him what it was. And then I finished the fourth. The fourth one is done. But what I wanted to read for you, I wanted to read this Martin poem. This Martin poem I wrote that's in the back of the book toward the end.
Okay.
Title of the poem is Jim Martin. Says, if we start with today and look back, as far as time will allow, our history will present us on pages. We can begin to compute how much we've paid in this country to dream. If life, liberty, and the pursuit of anything uncompromised can be without prejudice. If Black blood has an American equivalent, how the detachment of Black body from breath comes often with large donations from sheriff's departments, slush fund, as if they knew in advance you can only determine the amount a Black man is worth once he is subtracted from his children. It's stunning. Once his mother cries foul, when his father rebukes the system, denounces the use of deadly force, once he can family no more. I wonder if Dr. King shows up in spirit when called, when men, women, and children in any level of education repeat his speeches. When we call on him asking for a sign, is he aware we spent 8 years with the man that wore his same skin color? In the highest office in the nation, how can we get him a message to let him know a minority woman will finally have the honor of being vice president? When is the last time he visited Ebenezer? His success is following in his footsteps. Where's the title of first Black senator from the heart of Dixie? I want to ask him if he believes his words when he spoke of character, of little Black and white children holding hands, if drum majors for justice these days should carry a long gun. There's no reason I should reference the after effects of having a Black president, no reason to discuss the last 4 years in detail. Promised myself I would not even use 2020 in a sentence, would not say it out loud, would only write it in pencil. I would let them know Klansmen carry their guns, their rifles in public on government property. At least they leave their hoods at home. Should I tell him they stormed the Capitol the other day as if it was 1776 or 1876 again? They attempted to overthrow the government. You would not believe after all this time they're finding new ways to steal or cancel our vote. Some Republican Secretary of States randomly purge Black voters from the roll as if it's commonplace. Others claim our votes should be discounted because we voted at polling places that were illegal, or mail-in ballots were not exactly authorized. If you came back, you would not be allowed to march or even walk to view the mall where you spoke to thousands. You would not approach Lincoln's monument, would be forced to stand outside the perimeter of a fence more than 7 feet in height, topped with razor wire. Lincoln could look down and believe we were members of his plantation crew. Finally, America would be great again. Dear Martin, it may be worse. Every time we take 4 steps up the ladder to justice, they relocate the building. I wonder if you know how it looks when the president of the United States hold a rally to stop the count of electoral votes. How many Confederate flags are in attendance? How many of the descendants of good old boys are still good old boys? Maybe our dreams are for sale, should be sold or renewed after every murder, after every assassination. Maybe we need a lesson on mountaintops. Dear Dr. King, I'm not trying to alarm you, but here we may require 2 of you and a couple of other leaders in your recent acquaintance to come back and teach master classes, especially since we'd be so close to having masters again.
Wow.
Check this out. Miss Betty said, I wrote my history in pencil. My history is now erased. Attempt at a high. Miss Betty, I would say Miss Betty, I would say they wrote my history in pencil.
Right.
They wrote my history in pencil. I love it. But I would say they wrote my history in pencil. Because we never got to write our history down. Our history was vibration. We just passed it on. They wrote it in pencil.
Snatched that from us.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, you know, you was talking about the DNA, the swab with the DNA stuff or whatever. We did the DNA thing, and I got so discouraged because I could only go but so far, and I was just like, so now how am I supposed to find, like, you know, what am I supposed to do if I want to be able to go 3-4 sets of grandparents back, you know?
Yeah.
I've been trying that for like 5 years to go 3-4 sets of grandparents back. I just got there. Like I literally just got, and that's only on one side. I didn't get there on the other side completely, but I got somewhere, you know, with it. And I felt like, you know, fulfilled because at least I know something. The fact that they stripped that from us, I mean, you know, they knew what they were doing when they did it. They knew what they were doing when they did it.
Yeah.
We know we come from kings and queens. We know we come from royalty and you know, people that were larger than life. But we have nothing to, you know, maybe no paintings or, you know, nothing that's logged in, and no one and cataloged our people because it wasn't important to them. So we, you know, just have to sit there
they
and
got them
wonder.
somewhere. I'm saying the Vatican is not the only place with the Black Mary and the Black Jesus. Vatican is not the only place with pictures.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't say this online, but I got some information that's coming. I got some information that's coming. I got some folks that work. Yeah, I got some. Listen, I'll be in here working. I'll be tired. I'll be sleepy. I'm tired of sleeping now. I'll be in here working. I got some.
I don't know when you sleep. You be up all night and all day.
I sleep when my daughter let me sleep. When AJ don't send me a riding prompt, that's when I sleep.
Okay. Because
I want to hear this song.
It seems like you get no rest.
No, I want to hear this song, man.
Oh, we didn't sing it. We got to get it from.
We wrote it.
We wrote it, but my man sang it.
But we did not sing it because we're all in different places. So he did the singing. He was like, I sure wish somebody else was here, so I didn't have to do all the singing. But his name is Mark Sean, and he's so very talented. And he and Manny are really good friends and have worked together before, as well as them being really good friends. And it was a nice way to get the creative juices going. I just have to say, and I know he probably hates that I say it on a regular basis, but Emmanuel Lewis is a wonderful man. He really is. If there's ever anyone who supports their people, it's him. Yeah. It is really him. Yeah. And I know he don't like to have his horn tooted, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And he has opened a lot of doors recently for people. And also, there you go, Miss Betty. Miss Betty fixed it. He opened up a lot of doors for people. And, you know, where there is that a lot of times celebrities don't want to really be bothered. Because, you know, let's face it, he was very important in our youth growing up, you know. Mm-hmm. And we remember him and him always being around. And he was always positive. You never hear nothing negative about him. And everything was always on point. And he really is that person. He really lives that life. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. So he's the reason. He's the reason I even know who Coach is.
Right. That's how that happened. Yeah.
And there's a group of us like that he just brought everybody together. So I always try to give him his credit where credit is due. He decided that we should do this. We did this, and there's the song now. It's called Right Back.
Did y'all go on last night?
No.
I didn't see him last night. Yeah,
I didn't either.
I popped in, but
I didn't talk to him either. So I don't know. You know, maybe something came up. He's a busy man. I don't know how he finds time to do it every week. Anyway, be honest with you, but
he makes time. He don't find it. He makes like, man, I'm just gonna shut down and do it. Yeah. But I know that it feeds his soul. You know, you can tell. Yeah. The way he picks the music that he plays for certain poets and stuff like that, you can tell. And the manner by which he pull poets up, you know what he wants.
AJ, you gotta join us one Wednesday when we on there. You would really love it. And
AJ been on there before.
I went on there. He want me to write a play. I'm working on a couple of plays, but like Ja, I have 5 children's books, 1 motivational book, a YA novel, and a self-help book, all in work right now.
Okay.
And I just sent Still Black to the printer. So I just sent book 9 to the printer. I got this. I got Coach Ja book almost finished on my computer. I got to go back and look at it.
And I got to send him 3 more.
Talented. Our people are so
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah.
So
It's a blessing.
I keep asking God for 2 more arms.
Okay. All right.
But
Let me
I
know how
want
that works
them
out.
facing the other way though. I want them facing the other way.
Okay. Okay.
So I can be typing it at the same time.
There you go. There you go. Right, and typing it at the same time.
I can see that now. And the other one hand the phone to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the song is on Manny's IG page. There's a video there where we when we finished it. So towards the end of that video, you can hear the
Yeah.
song on
On
there
whose page?
on Emmanuel Lewis's page.
Okay.
It's I am Emmanuel Lewis on IG.
Oh no,
And
I
that's
follow
what
him.
it
I did a poem on his page. I did a poem once, and I did the poem I did was called Home.
Okay.
And I just you could see the look on his face. He was silent for a minute. He was like,
Yeah.
He feels it. He always feels it. Because
He
he's
is in
creative
tune.
and he
Yeah, he is in
understands. He understands. I know he get tired of me saying it all the time, but it is what it is.
You know, geniuses don't really care
thank you,
for
Amron.
attention. When people are geniuses, they don't care for attention. They be like, I'm all right. I don't
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah. But I don't like when people wait till something happens and then they want to give folks their flowers when they're gone. I feel like they need to be able to smell their flowers now and hear everything about them that's wonderful and be reminded of it constantly and let them know how you appreciate them. That's why
I
I
went
like
on
this shit.
Facebook today. I went on Facebook today. I was thinking about a few things after I read a post, and there's a lot of talented people that I know that are just assholes. And I look at the stuff that they've done, and I look at how they talk, like they do so much in it within their communities. And I'm saying, if I didn't step out and do the things that I'm doing on my own, the folks that was in place that could have shown me the way to do this stuff, they totally neglected to make mention of it. And I look at it and I'm saying, I see you doing what you do. I'm not gonna call anything out, but I see you doing what you do, and that's good. I mean, I'm happy that you can do that. But guess what? I decided to do this thing that I'm doing in this neighborhood that I'm not from, but you are from, and you lived here all your life. I did not, but I'm doing this thing in this community. And I said on Facebook, I am a black man that's teaching in the black community, and I didn't need no damn scholarship for no school or no formal education for no place or certificates to tell me that I can do it. There's just a God-given thing that I have, that I do it, and I don't shy away from that. So I gave myself flowers today. I gave myself flowers.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I didn't get to smell them, but I gave them.
Our worst critic a lot of times, so it's good when you can give yourself flowers.
I don't do that a lot. I always kind of like, down, I be, but today I felt like I needed to make some acknowledgement today.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And Josh, I went on Facebook this morning. I went on Facebook and I read 2 poems out of Still Black, and I was just marking the book because Coach John, we're gonna do a show where I sent him an author's copy of Still Black. I wanted him to check it out, so we're gonna go and we're gonna do a show and we're gonna talk about the book and the creation of the book and the content and why the book is what it is and what it's for and what it's supposed to be and what you're supposed to get from it. If we can come up with all that.
Okay.
Listen, that's going to be a 4-hour show. Easy. On that one book.
Or part 1 and part 2?
But no, that's just part of the one book. We ain't even going to get to the other book yet.
Oh.
Still Black is after the Black Book of Black. The Black Book of Black was the first book that I have. And I carry that book around. My laptop back is downstairs, but I carry that book around with my books and Mr. Witt's books all the time. I usually have 3 of AJ. I got 3 of AJ's books, and they're usually always close by. I told you I got one by. Here go one right here. I was always one of his books close by me. I always got one.
Okay.
And
okay.
The Black Book of Black was my favorite from the beginning, and that book I kind of carry in my bag all the time. And like I said, with poetry books, sometimes I start from the beginning, but most of the time I open up the book and whatever page, and that's why I read. And I either go forward or backwards from there. I just love to do that. And when I do that with AJ's book, I gotta have a pen and a pad because I gotta write some shit. I started writing a poem for my daughter, reading one of these poems in here. And Miss Betty said, Miss Betty said, "Did you spray them scentless flowers with Febreze?"
Scentless flowers.
Because I was talking about my flowers on Facebook. I gave myself
Oh,
flowers.
okay.
Hey, Nikki, yesterday I do a show called Wednesday Morning Read Show, right? So yesterday I'm reading from, and I have all these books I bought from other poets. So Coach Ja came in when I was reading one of his poems.
Oh,
I sure did. Right on cue. Boom.
wow. Like y'all had set it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm saying there's some pieces in there. I just, and see me, I think we need to let people know of the newfound favorite writers that we've discovered.
Yeah.
And the products that they have. Because I'll be on other shows. I hold up Coach Ja book like, hey, follow Coach Ja Smalls. This is one of his books. This is Mr. Witt's books. If you like haikus, this is Mr. Witt. You know, just because a lot of times we need to know, people need to know who you follow.
Right.
Yeah.
Because evidently they already
know.
following you. They're already following you, but they need to know who you follow and why you're following.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah.
Part of what my plan is for National Poetry Month, since I'm going to be at the Shaw Ali, I want to do book signings, right? But I think what I'll do is once they move to the new facility, I want to use the projector so I can do, like AJ, you can actually do a show online from your home. I could put up on the big screen, and that's the kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, because we're still in the pandemic, we're gonna be here for another year. They're gonna take 197 million every month.
Spot for now. This our spot.
Look, they'll get that 197 million every month for a little while longer. But I want to be able to do that so I can introduce folks who have not known who AJ is and introduce them to you and you know what I'm saying, kind of get some things like that. So that's the next thing I'm working on, because I can see some gaps that need to be filled. So I can do a live poet 1 week, and then the next week I can have someone on the projector. Or I can do a projector first and then someone live right afterwards, and so do a combination. So that's what I'm looking at doing. I can't wait for that, because I'm putting AJ and Mr. Witz on the same damn show. And that's
no, me and Mr. Witz, we did a history versus history.
Oh, okay.
And
listen, that show
we call it a poemathon, and we just went head to head, back to back. Man, it was.
I know that was good. I know
it
that was good.
Damn. I've not been to a show like that. Now, me and Witch did one, which I like. What I liked about me and Witch, because his voice is a little deeper than mine, but our voices still match. I mean, that's my brother, so we're going to somewhere down the line. Our voices still match and kind of flow together. And after we did our show, they said that should be in the theater. But what I was able to sit back and get from Witz and AJ together was there was so much history and undertone messages that if you listen clearly, it was like somebody else was whispering while they doing the poem. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing this poem. It's like, did you hear that shit? Did you get that? Write that shit down. Like you hear undertone of somebody else telling you what you need to be doing while you listen. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. It was really amazing.
I believe it.
It's recorded though, right, AJ?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all need to put that on CD. That need to be on CD. DVD.
Yeah, that was definitely man, because we had a plan and we went beyond the plan.
Man, yeah, that was crazy. I gotta write another. AJ, did you send me another prompt from Impromptu, or just that Mr. Witz?
No, just Mr. Witz. I hadn't sent another one yet.
The one I just read the one that you had me do the other day. I just read that one again earlier today. I was like, damn, I didn't even realize I wrote that.
No, I'm saying because I got a couple of my other computer over here writing prompts. I'm writing too.
Yeah,
because I have one I'm writing. I have one I just started. It's called After COVID.
After COVID, yeah.
But it got to be a love poem. It got to be a love poem. That's the only thing it can be.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out, because I started out talking about how oceans reject shells and other things from it that it's not ready to accept.
Right.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to hear that one.
Cool.
And there's another one that you said. I'm trying to think what it was. There's another one you told me was writing. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to break down Still Black. We need to hurry up, set that up soon. Because I can't wait to break that one down. I want to sit and because with authors, I think a lot of times when people interview authors or anybody for that, they ask the questions that the interviewer wants to ask. And the actual person that's being interviewed rarely get to ask or talk about the shit they want to talk about because everybody else got all these questions for them. And so I want to be able to say, okay, AJ, tell me when you wrote this, what did that feel like? You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I want to be able to do.
Oh man, now I'm gonna tell you, Nikki. I wrote a poem called Harriet's Feet.
I'm just gonna take my picture out this camera. Let me just move my shit off the camera.
Wow.
Now, a poem Harriet's Feet, and I'm saying I had like 8 pages of notes because because my whole argument was that I hear a lot of people talking about the horrible things of history, right, but they only know the surface, what it was, and didn't really realize what the Trail of Tears was in detail, or what Tuskegee was in detail, or what Harriet did in detail. Because when you discover that Harriet walked 800 miles each time, 800 miles.
That's crazy. That's madness. Yes, she did. Yeah.
No, I'm saying 16 times in 10 years, 800 miles.
And that's exactly why they won't put her face on that money right now. Because she did.
And she went back. And she went back each time like, oh, some more people want to go.
She could have just stayed after the first trip. She I'm good. And I hope other people join.
I would have been so tired after the first 800 miles. I'm like, hey, let me sketch this map out. Go get these folks for me.
That's why I referenced her in that writing prompt, AJ. Just thinking about that. Because her whole story is beyond weight.
Yeah, it is. And no movie can ever do it justice. They did okay with the movie, but it was entertaining. What that lady did, nothing.
But Nikki, there's a line in the poem. It says, it says they will carve your peanuts, then Jiffy and Peter Pan your peanut butter.
Wow.
It said they will Fruit of the Loom and Hanes your cotton, but steal Sam's last name. It said, why do you think these top designers for years been trying to steal her feet? Where do you think the idea for red bottoms came from?
Yeah, how about that? Ain't that something?
Miss Betty said, read that shit. Miss Betty.
That is.
Go ahead, read it. I'll read one. I'll read the prompt after you read that. I'm going to read Harriet's Feet. You might as well.
Okay.
Listen here, y'all. I'm about to lose y'all because my thing is dying and I don't have no cord for it that's going to reach.
Oh, dang.
My iPad and my phone wouldn't connect. It was my phone that wasn't connected. Yeah. That's why I had to pull the iPad out. I don't know what that's about. But I'm that phone on my nerves. So good thing the iPad was working, but it's not charged up. But I enjoyed being on here with you. I that book though. I'm probably gonna need to get one of those.
I'll put you in touch with AJ. I'll send you his thing through IG so you can get in touch with him.
Yeah, because I.
But Nick, it's excellent meeting you for sure. I thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It was a blessing.
Voting, y'all, you don't know how that voting thing for me is really. That's a big thing for me.
That's all we've been talking about. That's all we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Every Thursday, that's our first conversation. So this is where we at.
Okay. I might have to revisit y'all again.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna talk about till we get 100% participation.
Yeah. That's gonna be forever, but hey, we still working.
John, you hear that sound she made? That's not even a real sound. She said, "Yeah,
Yeah, that's right, That's
not even a real sound. That's not a sound humans make, unless you're James Brown.
That's the sound I make because that's a hard road ahead. But
that's what I'm saying. Unless you're James Brown, nobody make this sound unless you're James Brown. Good foot.
That's a hard road. But we gotta travel it because somebody has to do it and bring people what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
that's somebody the plan.
Does.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I don't even know what I'm doing to get out of here. Oh, I guess I hit that leave button. Let's see if that works. Y'all, thank you for having me.
No problem.
Thank you, AJ. I'll see you soon, Coach.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All righty. Bye.
All right, AJ, you got to go ahead and read Harriet's Feet.
Okay, but we got to revisit one thing before we venture completely off. today is Numbers Thursday. I want everybody to know today is Numbers Thursday.
Numbers Thursday.
Numbers Thursday because they just passed the $1.9 trillion supposed bill that sent everybody $1,400 and gave tax credit to the kids and $300 extra for a couple of other months on the unemployment benefits and a couple other things. So that's $1.9 trillion. And then a couple of years ago they passed a $2 trillion bill that was a tax break for billionaires and trillionaires, and they also made about $2 trillion during COVID. Over this year, they made about $2 trillion in the stock market and all these things because they were the only businesses in business. But what the numbers that we discovered, if we just take half of the people, I'm saying just half the numbers. See, let me see what the whole number is. Let me Google this whole number first.
Get your calculator ready because it might bust. Plug your calculator in because it might explode.
What's the number of people that have died of COVID in the United States? Okay, I'm looking. Okay, it's 538,000 deaths.
538,000.
Yeah. Shit. So if we take half of 538, half of 538 is 4
It's 269 is half. 269 is half.
Okay. 269. So we got 269. So what did we do earlier?
Spot on down there.
I didn't hear you.
I said we was damn near spot on.
Yeah. Okay, so we take let's do 269,000 people. Go to my little thing here. 269,000 people. Let's go and erase this. Go cue that up. Okay, 269,000 people time $785. $785 is the estimation of the money they save by not paying the people that have passed the disability or Social Security benefits or SSI or SDI, whatever you want to call it. So that's actually 78. Let me write. So that equals $211,165,000 a month times 12 months. Okay, so times 12, that equals $2,533,980,000 a year. Okay, so we got that, and we know the other estimation was that, what was it? 196, 235. So we estimated the amount of people that passed that, $10,000 per person times, 10,000 times 260,000.
269,000.
Yeah, 269,000. Now 10,000 equals what? 269 million?
269,000, right?
Yeah. Times 10,000.
10.
No, maybe I'm off.
That's a 269 million.
Now I might be off. I think I'm off in them. I just looked at this. 269,000 times 10,000. That is 2 trillion. Okay.
That's 2 trillion.
Yeah, 2 trillion.
Over 2 trillion. God.
$690 million. Okay, so far, if you add the $2,690 million from the number of people that was paid, the deaths paid by COVID, add the amount that we got from the money that they've saved in COVID, which is $2,533,980,000. Okay, together that is $5,223,980,000.
God dang.
So somewhere within the confines of our numbers, we have found in America that there's a surplus of $5,223,980,000 that of unpaid resources, or paid resources that's not included in the 1.9 trillion or the $2 trillion from the tax break. So I don't know what we do with this information. Anybody know?
Hell, it's burning a hole on my desk. Shit.
So because we're gonna say today is Numbers Thursday, and these numbers, like the what ESPN say, numbers on live, whatever the show used to be.
God damn.
That's
I don't have, and then we got poor people living in places called Tent City and shit out in the street.
No, we got football stadiums full of cars where people ain't got gas and in the food line.
And I get 1%. Hell, me too. Shit, I take 1%. Shit.
So, and I'm saying these are not made up numbers. I'm just telling people these aren't numbers that we just pulled out our ass.
Right. This is the real numbers. These are actual facts.
And the estimation of the monthly income from 250,000 is lower than it would be if we knew the actual numbers.
And we're only counting half of the people. We're not even counting
half. Yeah.
Think about that. Jeez, so money.
So it is somebody might be calling you, Ja, because somebody gonna look at this show and they say, we need to call Ja and tell him to stop this Number Thursday shit.
Now listen, if they pay me off, I ain't coming back on this month, but they pay me off.
Yeah, what give you 1%? Give my 1%.
Listen, if they give me 1%, y'all better read my poetry books. That's all I can tell you. You better break the metaphors down because they coming, goddamn. He said,
no, man, I'm like, that's $5,223,980,000, which I don't know. Let me screenshot this. I'm gonna screenshot this shit.
Which is half and not finished. But that's just 1 year, AJ.
I know. It's just that's not including the 3 months that it's already passing this one.
That's already passing this year that we missed. And who died that we don't know. And you got to think retirement funds that just happen to get lost, insurance policies that just happen to can't get claimed.
Yeah, because ain't nobody in the office.
So yeah, they're gonna give you back money, but they're gonna made so much money off it ain't gonna matter. You'll get your money back, but you ain't getting it now.
Now that is, I just want everybody to know that these numbers came from what we computed today is an estimation in half of the number of people died that's passed of COVID, which is horrible. But if we only take half the numbers, and most of the people that died had some type of ailment, was on disability, or had pre-existing conditions, so more than likely they were on SSDI or Social Security or some type of disability. Some were elderly, so they were also on Social Security. So if we estimate half and have say the average income was $785 a month, which nobody can survive on $785 a month. But if we take that time 269,000 people. That's how we came up with $211,165,000 a month. So if it's a month, there's 12 months in a year. So 12 times 211,165,000 is $2,533,980,000 a year. Mm-hmm. That's not going out. That's surplus. That's where it stays. That hadn't been printed. That don't need to be printed on a check. So they're saving trees. They're saving the environment. We're trying to stop global warming, so they ain't printing a whole lot. So it's a lot of stuff in these numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of shit. And that's just what we know about.
Yeah, that's just two black men making estimates from the closet.
Oh my God! Listen, I'll tell you, man. I tell you, I don't know about y'all, but this shit right here, but just when I couldn't, AJ, you know, I couldn't wait to tell you. I was like, I can't wait to tell
I know you say get your calculator out. Do this.
I was like, I can't wait to run these numbers by AJ.
And I didn't have a conversation though. I was waiting for the day. I ain't tell nobody nothing.
I was hoping that you was gonna say, Ja, that ain't how this shit work, man. That ain't, get that shit out of here. You go crazy. That ain't how this shit work. But and just think, we don't even have actual numbers, but we know that Social Security is paying that minimum of $785.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of elderly people that was getting Social Security, that's not including disability, because disability is more money.
Yeah. SSDI is more.
So, man.
So, what's up, Spoken Words 92 and Scott Hay? Check it out. This is 10 times now with Coach Ja. Today is 10 times now, and Coach Ja, we're having this conversation. So, we named this number Thursday. So, what we did, we computed the number of people that have passed away of COVID-19, but we only used half of the number, and we computed those numbers since they were a lot of more elderly and people with pre-existing conditions, which meant there was probably on disability, SSDI, or SSI. We took the average salary, which is $785 a month, multiplied times 269,000 people, which is half of the number of people. And we came up with this number. Then that's per month, and we multiply that times 12. You can do your own calculations and see what that came up with. So there's a whole lot of dollars. That $1.9 trillion package they just did is already paid for.
This is your government.
Yes, it's already paid for. So they don't even have to write that in the book.
They don't have to do shit now. With that kind of money, just sitting back. Okay, just who's tracing it? Who's following it? Who's? I mean, shit.
Two black dudes on a 10 times now show.
Wait, look at Miss Betty. Oh, Miss Betty. I love Miss Betty. I love Miss Betty.
Who following two black dudes on the 10 times now show? That's who following.
Man. Oh man, I got to do a poem on Ain't Right Tribe tonight, because I didn't do it for Kendra last year, so I got to get on there. You should do one on there too, AJ.
Okay, what poem you doing?
I'm gonna read the one that I'm gonna read the prompt that you gave me. Who am I?
Okay.
I'm gonna read that one on there when I go on there. Kendra just started. I think she's going for an hour or so, but.
Now, and what time is the show?
She's on now. I don't know how long it stay on though. I think she just got.
Because it is 9:30 there. So
yeah.
Okay, so check it out. We can go and call this Numbers Thursdays 10 times now. Myself and Coach Ja. We tried to give you information on voting and why we're trying to get everything to 100% of people of us willing to vote, or 100% participation in your area of voting, because there's 43 states that need changes. There's 17 attorney generals that need changing. There's 43 senators in the Senate that need changing. So there's some things that you have to look at. So who's on your list that need to be changed? And find the person on your list and then talk to people around you and say, okay, this is our goal. Because you got, what, a year and 6 months?
Yeah.
2022.
Go by so fast.
Yeah, year and 6 months. So that's what I'm saying, start now. So just imagine if we start getting everybody registered now, they're going to be mad because they're going to owe us a vote. So they're going to be anticipating voting. So they're going to be ready before the time gets here. So we need them ready when ready when it's ready.
And if you're on here and you know people who write laws and all of that, that's who we want to talk to.
Yeah.
We want to do what Ice Cube didn't do. And we want to get the black agenda on before when it matters and not when it's too damn late to talk about putting it on the ballot. We need to have our shit written up on their desk now. We can't wait until 2 weeks before Election Day and come to my own.
I told Nikki. Nikki, don't do it, Nikki. Don't do it. Don't bring it up. Told Nikki, don't do it. Don't do it, Nikki. You're gonna get him. Don't do it. You're gonna get him.
So we need to put and let's stop saying a black agenda.
Yeah.
Let's stop saying that shit. That's just stop that. Just stop that. First of all, they're not gonna put nothing that say black up there anyway, but the words. And they use them anywhere they want anyway. So let's just stop saying it. Let's just have an agenda that works for us. Let's have a we agenda. They got me too. Let's have a we too. Okay, let's
say our community's agenda.
yeah, all community agenda. Yeah, that works for me because that makes sense. Black agenda. Sit your ass down somewhere. Anyway, I'm not even going. I'm not even going.
Now, but let's go check out. Let's go check Kendra out, man. Let's go visit her.
Hang out. I love you, brother. I'm home all day tomorrow, so we got to talk. I'm gonna have the baby.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take the baby and let her go. I keep trying to get her to go run in the streets and go see somebody or something, but she won't go nowhere. She just want to stay in the house. But I'm gonna try to get the baby from her so she can, do something and enjoy life a little bit instead of sitting in here. But other than that, I'm in the house. I got some stuff I got to get together. So let's work, man. Let's work. You know how we do.
For sure, man. Love you, man. I got some prompts on here I got to finish anyway today. Got a couple of things bothering the hell out of me. I need to write down.
I told you I bought a whole bunch of pads. I can't.
I got a box over there with a bunch of spiral notebooks in out because every time school opens up, Walmart have them for like 25 cents.
Yeah.
I go and buy 30 or 40 of them.
I need to start doing that. I need to start doing that
because I always have, I got one for this, one for that. I got a bunch of them, and I keep them because I'm always be writing something.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get back into making sure my pen is working and not just my computer all the time. So I'm gonna do that. So anyway, man, yeah, let's get out of here, bro. Go eat something.
For sure, man.
Let's get over here and check Ain't Right Tribe out and see what they doing, man. We love y'all. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed.
Love y'all 10 times now, man. Come back next Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you got a topic you want us to talk to or somebody needs to talk to or talk about, send them here. We got you.
We got you. We pull them right up on the screen. Or if they want to just talk in the feed, we do that too. It's all good. It's all love. All right. Y'all be good. We see y'all later. Peace and love.
Love you, man.
Love you too, bro.